I think, yep, there I am. I am live. It was taking a minute here, but I think I'm live. Hello, hello, Zen friends. Happy weekend to you. Happy Saturday. Hope you're enjoying your wonderful adventures this morning or this evening if you're on the other side of the world. So thank you for being here. Many blessings. Let's get started. Before we get into everything, let's begin. Let's change the energy of the planet and our little worlds that we're living within by bringing in the singing bowl as we do. I will hit it 3 times here in a moment. And as we do that, you can just imagine and picture and allow this beautiful, eternal, unconditional love energy of the higher realms just to flood down and fill us up into every part of our body, our minds and thoughts, our hearts and our emotions, our energetic fields, our auras, our chakras, our meridians, our bodies, into everything within our physical world and flow out to the outside world, letting it do whatever it wants to do out there to help raise the vibration of the planet as well. And of course, something we can do to immediately begin to raise our love vibration is gratitude. And if you just think of just one thing, gratitude energy is so powerful. Just one little pulse of gratitude to the Creator counteracts so many lower vibration thoughts of lack and fear and all those other fun emotions we experience. So just one moment of gratitude for something right here, right now that we're grateful for. We can immediately start raising our love vibration. It also opens us up to receive from Creator and Spirit, and whatever we're grateful for, we magnetize ourselves to draw it more to us too. So win. Let's bring in that beautiful love energy. We'll start off first by taking a big deep breath and coming back to right here, right now, out of the future, out of the past, out of the chaos that's going on out in the world at lovely little adventure theme park. And we'll come back to right here, right now. You can hold your breath as long as you like. Don't pass out, please. I'd like you to be present, not knocked out on the floor for all of this. So we'll begin. Laughter also raises our love vibration, right? All right, so let's begin. Big deep breath in and hold. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, here we go. We'll begin. Wow. Thank you guys so much. Powerful, beautiful energy. Always is, but there's days that feels like there's extra flow. So thank you guys for adding in your energy. All right. Excited for what messages come through for Spirit today. Again, thank you guys so much for being here. If you're new to my channel or new to these readings, hello, hello. I'm brudda-zen. We got a great group of Zen friends here with huge hearts, great senses of humor. Definitely two things, as we say, like every time I say it, because it is so important to remember how love is what every moment is all about, right? It's either a expression of love or a cry out for love. It's higher vibration or lower vibration. Every moment is that. And of course, laughter and a sense of humor helps raise our low vibration too as we go through that. So, two important things. And there's always room for more Zen friends. So, welcome. It's a safe space for all of us here. If you want to know how the whole process works, all that's down in the description box of the video. Donations do get first priority. So we do jump to those and step outside of the free readings. Free readings are 1 to 2 cards normally. For the donations, we do dive deeper for those, get more messages, and every person who makes a donation, just one per person per session, you get a fortune cookie. Today we're from the Wild Soul Oracle is where we'll draw from. So you get a little extra message from Spirit for those two. And if you want to make a donation, you can use the super chat at the bottom or in the description box of the video. Do have my Venmo, CashApp, PayPal, and Square. I don't have any set dollar amounts because I know everyone's finances and cost of living and rate of exchange of, different currencies, all that is so different that I just, whatever you give from your heart is the perfect amount. So thank you. I appreciate those donations because it's how I eat. And I'm grateful for that. Because right now, the physical body still needs food. Uh, and then, when it becomes where I don't need food, then I won't need any funds, right? All right. um, Also, at the end of each session, I do post a pinned comment listing all of the readings I completed along with the timestamp. So all I have to do is click on it, takes you right to your reading. So I am trying something new this weekend. I'm on for about 3 hours. If at the 2.5 hour mark, if I haven't completed any free readings yet, then I will kind of step away from donations and do at least 30 minutes of free readings or until there is none. Sometimes I don't take 30 minutes for the free readings that are out there. And then I'll pick back up on donations. I always complete donations every day. Free readings, whatever I don't get to by the end of the sessions, then I don't come back on to complete those except on Sundays. Sunday. I always come back in the afternoon, complete out everything I did not complete in the morning. So just trying to do things a little different, try to make sure that those that aren't able to make donations, at least I can get to some of those free readings because I was having some weekends where I didn't get to any free readings except for Sunday afternoon. And I do honor those energy exchange of donations, but I also understand not everyone's in a place where they can do that. So I want to make sure at least we get some messages to those in session. So I'm trying that out, see how that works, and we'll go from there. I've been using this so far for my Thursday and Friday night sessions. I'm using my double-decker light seers. I have 2 of these because one of the cards is on its last leg, and someone gifted me out of the blue one of these. They were like, I went out to lunch with them. It was like years ago, and they were like, "Could you use these? I already have these." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I have a deck that has that, one card that bent, and it's, and so now I decided to join them both together. So we'll see how that works out. I like doing that because sometimes when we draw cards, you get both the same card repeated, and it brings in a special type of message that comes in with that too. So I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. All right. So let's get our list together real quick here for donations. I'll let you guys know where we're at on those. I just had one just come through to here. Yay. Hey, Marissa. All right. So we will start off with Swaroop Bobby. You'll be up first. And then Johanna, if you're still awake, you want to make sure you put your question out there. Sleeping Beauty. And then Maria P via Z PayPal. And then we'll jump over to Ashvin Ray. And then to Marissa Smith. Thank you so much there. Yeah, very good. Absolutely, Marissa. And, I'll post your timestamp in the chat, also in the pinned comment at the end. And if you are going to listen to it at lunch or whatever, if you happen to pop back on and you don't see your timestamp, you can just ask for it and I'll just plug it back out there for you right away so you know where it's at, just in case. So thank you for your donation and enjoy your work. I know. I love what I do now. I always enjoyed what I did before, but this feels more fulfilling for sure. All right. So I think that's everything. Let's get the party started, right? So thank you guys again so much for being here and for all the thumbs up too. That does help spread the Zen love and you're part of the love tsunami. So I appreciate that. All right, let's take a sip of a little coffee here. Cheers, everybody. Love you so much. And let us go. So Swarupa, Bobby, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp. All right, put it down here. There we go. Let's give that donation a love and a like since it lets me do it on those. We'll start off with this side here. All right, so you got a job and you were diagnosed at the same time. Oh, okay. Reports are negative today. All right, that's great. You'll receive your last report where it needs to give any clue or symptoms so I can get medical treatment. If not, you may lose your job. So, any messages, and please pray for me. Absolutely. We'll join together right now. Send some wonderful love energy your way to surround you. Let your higher self use that love energy in whatever way it wants to for your adventure. I know, right? Beautiful. All right, let's take a look here. We'll give it a shuffle. I already pre-shuffled all these. Got the energy flowing before I went live, so we are charged and ready. So, any messages regarding any of this? And of course, anything medical that comes out, see the disclaimer in the description box. I'm not a licensed medical professional. But you can check those out. Let's see what they've got here. What do they want you to know right now? Okay, you've got those up there. And these below the surface. Do you want those? I do want these two. All right. So there's a little pattern here. Because you've got 2 cards, 1 card, 2 cards, and then 2 cards below, 1 card, 2 cards. So 2, 1, 2, and 2, 1, 2. Stuff on the surface and stuff below the surface. So we'll see what we got here. They're telling me the left side is about your health, and the right side is about job. The middle is the balancing factors. The stuff on the bottom is the underlying energy that's bubbling below the surface, kind of the what of, like the human information and then the spirit information, right? The what's below the surface, why are the things happening, right? I like it overall for you with the King of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. The overall energy is abundance, fullness of life. So, that always brings in for me this energy of gratitude, of we can get, of course, drawn into the future of the fear of what will happen and what we don't have, and we start really building up some strong beliefs in lack, right? And when we take a big deep breath like I did at the beginning of the session and come back in here, and you might, if you didn't see the beginning, um, I always start off with a singing bowl and bringing in energy. That might help with your energy flow too. So I encourage you to check that out if you weren't here for the beginning. After you listen to this reading, just allow that energy to flow through you, and allow it to go into the cells of your body and through your mind and all your thoughts and all of your emotions and all that we talk about. It can help, but gratitude is something that raises our vibration. It also brings peace and allows energy to flow through our bodies and let it function at its higher and higher function. When we're in fear, then that actually puts our body physically into fight or flight mode. And you can, of course, search the internet, uh, you know, um, WebMD or whatever about the impacts of fight or flight mode and fear on us. So many of our things that happen in our physical bodies are a result of stress, which the root of that is fear, right? Both physical fears, but mainly in this day and age, like unless you live in a war-torn world, place, or um, third world countries where there's a lot of physical things to fear. Majority of the world, we have not a whole lot of physical things to be afraid of, but emotional monsters all over the place, right? And we actually have it worse off when we're emotional monsters because they live in here. The physical things we can at least get away from and feel safe again, but things that in here, wherever we go, there we are, right? So there is this importance of gratitude underlying that here. Let's take a look here at your physical health first. Again, disclaimer in the description box. You got the Eight of Pentacles. That's great. That's the outside world with the pentacles, and you have the Magician. These two coming out together. Eight of Pentacles is putting in the blood, the sweat, the tears, taking the actions that you will do in the physical world, help bring you positive fruition in your life. And with the Magician, that's also telling you, excuse me, whatever you focus on is what you draw to you, right? So again, we come back to that gratitude. If I focus on what I'm grateful for in this moment and surrender to all that hoopla, caca, poo poo, doo doo to the creator, right? And just have gratitude that, I'm in great hands with you in spirit world and whatever you believe the higher power to be. And then as the more we focus on gratitude, that raises our vibration, it allows our body to move at its highest ability. And we don't focus on healing, we focus on health. If I focus on healing, I'm telling the universe I like to heal from things. And what that means is that I will constantly draw on things to heal from because that's how healing works. It's like if there's nothing broke, well, there's nothing to fix. Well, if I like fixing stuff, then a lot of broken things are brought to me to fix, right? But if I focus on health, I'm grateful for the health I have, then it transforms things, right? Underneath the surface of that, we do have the King of Cups. So there is emotional balance that this will help bring in. And the King of Wands, yeah, stepping into your power. Two kings underneath the surface here. So this is happening. Everything always does happen for us, but this physical things somehow bring us into the now, right? Sometimes it pushes into the future, our fear of what's going to happen, what's not going to happen. But sometimes when we have pain and different things, it brings us back to right here, right now, instead of everywhere else, because you're experiencing it right here. It brings you here. But this King of Wands is that energy of the Magician. It's realizing I get to decide. I'm not at the whim of the outside world. I'm not, doctors will bring us information. I get to decide what it means. I decide the stories, my emotions, my energy, my actions. No one else's. No one else gets to decide for me. I don't get to decide for everyone else. That's what brings us into this King of Cups, the source of stress. Where's this emotional imbalance that's going on? What emotional monsters are there? So there's some release that we can do, trusting that everything in life happens to bring things up to us so that these things that are running below the surface already, it's not like it's something new happening. It's just showing its head. It's been in your subconscious, unconscious world, but now it's got to the point where your physical body's going, hey, there's stuff to look at here. And that's what is going on here. It's you to step into this power of, I get to decide. I'm not a baby in a back of a car in a baby seat being driven around in life. My energy is what is drawing things into my life. And if I'm like, I don't really want this anymore, there's no right or wrong. There is just different choices that are made. Different with different outcomes and different experiences, not right or wrong. So it's like, I don't like how I'm feeling now. I'm going to change that because I can. And not making a choice to change is a choice too. It's a choice to continue to experience what I'm experiencing. So I like this, that all this energy is talking about. This is to show you, to bring attention to some emotions that can be transformed, but also to step into your power and realization of, I'm the one in control of my life. So I like that for the physical. And then we will look at the job on the right hand side. You have the Four of Swords, which is peace of mind. You got the Four and the Eight of Swords. There's a lot of stories that are here. And the Eight of Swords is, becoming aware of the thoughts and beliefs and mindsets. Here you are looking at yourself in a mirror, seeing the beliefs that make you feel blinded and bound and trapped and restricted. And both of these are flowing mental energies. So it's like, again, there's this what if energy, right? What if I lose this job? What if this? What if that? And it's about releasing that, going, I either trust that life is unfolding for me, or I believe that life is a drama train, an out of control drama train that's eventually going to fall off the tracks and leap off into a gorge and explode, right? But there's always an end in that situation too. At least it's not forever. It's not a train that just constantly goes in circles. The drama train eventually derails and blows up, but we're not on a drama train, right? We're in this beautiful, the universe is kind, it supports us. It allows us to go on our adventure. And if we lose a job or anything in our life, it is for us in some way, somehow. We'll see it sometime, either while we're still alive as humans, or when we're on the other side, we're like, oh, that's right. That's why I wanted to experience that. That's why that had to happen, because I wanted this to happen. And so there's adventure energy of trust and letting go. But there's flow energy here. And I don't feel like there's, yeah, wow. That's why I like using two decks of the same one, because you got the King of Cups again. So the underlying energy under both situations is this need, or this indication to balance the emotional stories, because the King of Cups, he's in the middle of the ocean, but he's balancing all of that emotional energy that's there. And you also have Temperance, patience, that everything unfolds and brings the gold in the end. Temperance is two cups. They put a base metal in one and add a little magic. And then things just slowly go back and forth. And even though you don't see the magic happening in big ways, it's slowly changing things, and things are unfolding. Um, the more we focus on lower vibrational lack and fears, it slows things down. The higher vibration, through gratitude, unconditional love, and joy, and laughter, and peace, and play, that speeds things up and it brings things in here. So I don't feel like um, the job is going to be an issue here, because I feel like all of this is showing up for you to um, bring up these beliefs especially thoughts and beliefs around job that don't serve you anymore. Does it mean anything if you lose that? Oh, I fear money. Well, humans don't bring us what we need in each moment. It's creator, right? Let's see what the balancing force is here. Yeah. So the imbalance that comes in here is this Five of Pentacles, which is an energy of lack, of feeling the fear of not having enough, not being enough, being left behind, being abandoned, being left out in the cold, right? We have a fear, what's it's about getting toward the root of our fears of lack, and it probably goes back into our childhoods normally, where we experienced abandonment from humans the first time, but Creator never abandons us. They never go into fears, right? Yeah, you have underneath that, you have the Two of Pentacles, realizing there's the human world and the upper world here too. So it's remembering who you really are and remembering this Five of Pentacles energy. The number five is transformation, realizing we experience abandonment when we depend on human beings, because human beings have this um, little thing called an inner child that when it feels unsafe and out of control, it's our um, left brain lower that was formed first that takes us into fight or flight mode, or maybe it's the right brain. One of our cerebral ones gets, I think it's our right one, because of the left one is more, I think, connected to spirit. But it's one of our cerebral, emotional, lower brain is what gets created first. And that's the thing that when it feels unsafe and out of control, it shuts down our upper thinking, intelligent, compassionate, loving side, and that's when we go into super fear mode. And when we go into survival mode, we will pull all the toys back, right? Everything we have, because I need it. And so if someone else went into fight or flight when we were younger, then they go into that survival mode and will abandon us for their survival. And that's human instinct. It's what happens till we get older, and then we don't go in as much fear. Not as many things trigger us if we do our inner work. Um, and So you don't experience abandonment in that scenario. Um, when we're, excuse me, when we're connected with creator and realizing creator is who brings us everything, because they don't have fight or flight mode, they don't have inner child, they are consistent, they're source, they have everything, they want to give us everything. And so we have everything we need in each moment always, to experience what we've wanted to experience. And when we can move our dependency and trust from a place of, I guess, instability to the most stable, trustworthy, then that's where our peace can come in. And when we get that peace with that surrender and that trust, then everything just flows in life in a beautiful way, because we're not caught up in the instability of the outside world. Um, so hopefully that helps. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here too for you. I know we went deep on that, so I feel like that's more than just for you and me. I feel like we all glean. I learned so much from everyone's readings. Um, a lot of times, a lot of repetitive messages come through a lot, because we're all experiencing a lot of the same fears and stuff. But I love that reinforcement I get. Yeah. And then you got creativity with the spider. Oh, the itsy bitsy spider creating a little right there. Um, it's interesting. They're bringing back something I read recently, that it was like just a little blurb on Instagram or something that said creativity is a way that helps us change our energy. Because when we purposely try to let me go create something, it puts us in a different mindset. That's puts us in connection and the energy of creator. So I love that. Let's see what Spider says. Creativity. The spider, an ancient weaver of webs, symbolizes creativity, patience, and the interconnectedness of life. Spiders are meticulous in their craft, creating intricate webs that serve as both home and hunting tool. This card encourages you to tap into your creative potential and to weave the life you desire. There's that Wands energy, the magician, the King of Wands coming in. The spider reminds you that creativity is a process that requires patience and attention to detail. You also had the Temperance card. So this is a reiteration of that. The higher vibration or light energy of the card, excuse me, says tap into your creative energy and start weaving your dreams into reality. Patience and persistence will yield beautiful results. There's the Eight of Pentacles, putting in the work, the blood, the sweat, the tears, you get the results. The shadow energy of the card says you may be feeling creatively blocked or tangled in your own web of doubts. Consider whether fear or perfectionism is hindering your creative flow. Wow. 3 questions you can ask yourself. 1, how can I unleash my creative potential? 2, am I feeling blocked creatively? And 3, what steps can I take to weave my dreams into reality? Some good reflective questions. All right, so that is what they have for you, Swaroop. So thank you again for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. All right. So Jojo, hello, hello. You know, you're not too late. There you go. There's your time step. Thank you for your donation and the piece of pie. We love the sweets, but I've been doing really good at not eating a lot of sugar. So I'm very proud. I'm loving my body and not giving it too much stuff that's unhealthy for it. But I'll take a virtual pie. There's no calories or sugar in that. So hello, Jojo. Whoosh. So you've been reading about Inanna, a Mesopotamian goddess. We had a reading, I think that was in that name sounds familiar. I don't know. You didn't get that last week, right? I think it was in one of my fortune cookies last week. That's weird. Anyway, what is your connection to her? You got over your fear of spiders, and turns out they're associated with her too. Wow. You feel a connection to her, but was like a priestess in her temple in a past life or something. All right, let's find out what your connection to Inanna is here. It's funny that we just had Spider for the first of the fortune cookies too. Not a quinky dink, I can imagine. All right, let's see what we got here, Jojo. What is your connection to Inanna? Okay. All right, let's see what this is all about here. Okay, makes sense here. You got 1 card, and then you got 2 cards, and then you got 3 cards. So there is this progression, but it's interesting because it's not linear. It's, you know, out of it's in order, but it's in a different dimensions. Oh, okay, different dimensions. Then it makes sense too. With the bottom energy being the star card, which, of course, connects to the stars, connects to the ethereal. And I'm feeling very much star seed collective. You do have this connection. It's like an umbilical cord. You have this tie, this energy there as well. So that confirms that it is there. I'm getting here because the star card normally has 7 separate stars, which represent the chakra energy. And I am getting something to do with energy work, but it's not like Reiki organized energy work. This feels old energy, old healer, um, medicine, woman, man, shaman, witch doctor kind of energy, like the old, and this goes back, and I feel like this is like you weren't so much like a high priestess in a temple. This feels more you were remote, but people around the area knew of your abilities, like you're working with herbs, working with energy work, um, that you were very connected. And I feel like Inanna was one of the representations in the area that you grew up, that they were very big believers in that expression of the deities, right? Because all the deities, like we even in some dimensions, some solar systems, we appear to others as uh, gods and goddesses in a way. They see us as that, but it's like an expression of our higher self is choosing to be such a important player in the unfolding of the stories of individuals that people recognize and go, wait a minute, you know, Jojo, but you don't go by that name there. They call you what they invented in their language or expression there, right? But you would help so many people in that dimension, in that planet or gathering of energy, that they see you as a higher being because their expression is vibrating at a lower, just in that realm, in that place, solar system, wherever you're at, you are expressing yourself as that higher place, right? Because ultimately, we all are the highest vibration, just right under Creator. Because as soon as we vibrate at Creator, we join back together with them. So we vibrate at just a slightly lower vibration, and then we have all these other lower vibration expressions at very many different levels and very many different places. So I feel like that's what they're saying here is this particular one that they're bringing in this lifetime that you're really resonating with in this lifetime is that expression of that individual. That's why there's such a strong tie, because you did walk. It's like in the Christian Bible when they say like Enoch walked with the creator and was friends. That's kind of the energy that I pick up here with Anana for you. Let's see, that's the bottom of the deck. Yeah, and we've got the Tower card here as well. Feel like they also um they come to you that, but they also come to you as Kali, and they're very intertwined, the energy of Anana and Kali. I don't know. I didn't know that. This is what they're saying, that they are um, different fingers of the same hand. Kali and Anana and Isis, and who they're showing me a picture. It's it's the Egyptian god um, that has the cat head, whoever that is. And there's another one too, but they're just saying it's not, don't get caught up in all the different which ones are it. Just know that you know, and then the hand. It's funny because they're showing me, that's the representation of this expression, which is one arm, and then they're showing me um like a being that has 80 arms, kind of like they do in those, when they wear the long golden things and they do those dances where they stand behind each other. It's like, and then there's all of these hands with all of these fingers. Ultimately, it all goes back to the same source, um, which is amazing. Wow, that went a lot deeper than I thought this was going to go. But that's where this tower comes in. They're bringing me in Kali energy, so you might feel a connection with Kali as well because of it. The two cards underneath, yeah, you have the Hermit stepping away and connecting with spirit, and the Ace of Cups. So there is this energy here of that all of this is this draw. They all have the same purpose to draw us to our heart. That Ace of Cups, the chalice, to help us fill up with this eternal, unconditional love that every being on the other side is, because ultimately everything comes from this giant bowl of love. It's all of us in there. And I like this how they're showing here this is an expression. It's just one spirit that separates, and that's what we want to experience, to come out here to look back at the collective. So we're all from the same sea of love. Not one of us is higher or lower in the true perspective. We just have different expressions in different places. So I might be a rock somewhere, a plant somewhere, an animal somewhere, a human, a higher vibration, a spirit guide, a god or goddess, just all over the place, right? So I love this energy of realizing we're all from the same bowl. Just we experience things differently at different places. And then the 3 cards that came out, yeah, we got the Fool card. It's all about the adventure. This represents our soul, the adventures that we have, and all the different experiences that we have, along with the 9 of Cups. Yeah, the dream come true. The 9s again is all about finding our inner love, our inner joy, and all of our spirit guides, all of the deities, the ascended masters, every one we experience in the physical world and the spiritual world, it's all to point us to our self-love, with all of this. And then the judgment card, our higher self and our human. It's just bringing in this energy of really connecting. I mean, it's just about connecting to our higher self and connecting to the spirit world. And especially with this one, it's, one of the big things that balances and releases us, yeah, the bottom of the deck, the 9 of swords, releases us from our fear-based human experiences, remembering who we really are. And so that's what so many of these beings on the other side, that they are so excited to help us experience ourselves from a higher dimension, a higher place. So, wow, I love that. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in. You can't have the spider. Spider's already taken. That's okay because you've let the fear spiders go. So let's see what else they want you to know here. Okay. You got confidence, the peacock. Wow, this card also came out here. Okay. So you also have the raccoon. I'm going to read that one too, because the card literally slid off the top of the deck. It came out of the deck after I got this card, and then it says, I want this one too. So you get 2. They're giving you 2. You have the peacock up first, which is confidence. I just went by the raccoon, so we're going to read the raccoon first. The raccoon is someone in a wheelchair with a raccoon on their lap that says resourcefulness, confidence, and resourcefulness. So, resourcefulness, the raccoon, known for its cleverness and adaptability, symbolizes resourcefulness and the ability to thrive in diverse environments. Raccoons are skilled at finding solutions to problems and making the most of what's available. So, this card suggests that you may need to tap into your resourcefulness to overcome a challenge or make the best of a situation. The raccoon reminds you that creativity and adaptability are powerful tools in your arsenal. The higher vibration energy is tap into your resourcefulness and make the best of your current situation. Creativity and adaptability will help you find solutions. The shadow side is your resourcefulness may be turning into manipulation or exploitation. Consider whether you're using your skills in a way that is fair and ethical. 3 questions you can ask yourself for this card. How can I be more resourceful in this situation? 2, am I being manipulative or exploitative? And 3, what creative solutions can I find? Ooh. So there we go. We've got the raccoon. Yeah. Old ancient energy. Yeah, you're catching up. And then the peacock, which was just the rabbit was the only one in between the peacock and the raccoon. So they're very closely related. So the peacock with its radiant display symbolizes not only beauty, but also the wisdom that comes from self-awareness and understanding. And this card reminds you that true wisdom lies in embracing your full self and expressing your knowledge with confidence. The peacock encourages you to trust in your inner wisdom and let your insights shine. The higher energy of the card says, embrace your wisdom and share it with confidence. Trust that your experiences and knowledge are valuable. Wow. Shadow energy of the card, you may be too focused on outward appearances, overlooking deeper truths. Consider whether you're making your true wisdom with surface level distractions. That must be your fairy godmother coming in, right? Sekhmet. Yeah, thank you, Jojo. I knew you'd know. Questions you can ask yourself. And I do feel like this peacock, the shadow energy, this isn't so much about yourself, about focused on outward appearances, as much, well, okay, a little bit, but mostly it's about you with in other interests, other distractions, as your fairy godmother calls these love interests in the outside world. You're overlooking the deeper truths of people because of the, ooh, look at them, right? um, so interesting. Questions you can ask yourself. 1, how can I share my wisdom with confidence? 2, am I too focused on appearances? And 3, what inner truth am I overlooking? So some good stuff. I really like that. All right. So that is what they have for you, my dear, my dear. Thank you again for your donation. And I love that information. This is just good stuff. I love the perspectives. Like I said, I learned so much from through everyone's readings. I get a lot of messages from myself. I love it. I don't hijack people's readings, but I do steal a French fry off your plate. All right. So that is what they have for you, Jojo. Cheers to you. Cheers, cheers. All right. So where we are at here. Just add this in here. All right. So we do have Maria P is up next, and then Ashvin Ray, and then Marissa, and then Sudeshna. You'll be up after that. All right. So Maria P, let's grab your timestamp here. And thank you for your donation via the PayPal. Let's grab your questions here. All right. Of course, and just a disclaimer in the description box. I'm not a legal professional, medical professional, or anything like that. So when we have any questions, like you have a question about a court case that jumped out. So I just have to say that here in the US, tarot is for fun, for entertainment purposes only. Of course, seek, and professional individuals in those areas. And ultimately, everyone makes their own decisions, right? brudda-zen does not take responsibility for anyone else's decisions in the physical world, mental choices, emotional choices. I released all that. All right. So let's take a look here, Maria. Wally's thoughts and feelings towards you today. All right, let's see. Let's check in with Walter. We do have thoughts. What are these feelings? There's a little more feelings going on here today. We'll see what that's about. What's coming for us next week? Okay, thank you. How many times will you see each other? Okay, thank you. Evidently, that many. Boom, boom, boom. We'll see what those are. Update on the dark side. Okay. Okay, just that one. I was going this one too. There, no, one. So, and then what will happen on your case with your ex in court? Okay. Will you win? And what will happen? All right, that's what those all three are for. All right. So, Wally's thoughts and feelings. We've got death and rebirth going through here. So, I do feel like this is a good ending and beginning, transformational type of energy. And, but I feel like on their mind, they do have some of those fears of endings. It's not them wanting to end, it's a fear of things ending. But they understand that they're really thinking about ending things to evolve other things, meaning like get rid of some other stuff in their life, dark side, everything else, what they need to let go of to move forward into a different place. Um, it's like cocoon caterpillar letting go of stuff, right? So I feel like there's a lot of thinking about that, which they have been. You know, we talked about those have escalated. So their thoughts are escalated. The death card is major arcana, not day to day, but life changing thinking. So there's a lot that would definitely change their life. Let's see what their where their emotional state is. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. They are into that emotional state of their own emotions, nurturing themselves, but also I feel like this is their feelings toward you about how nurturing you are and what type of mother you are and just your sensuality. I mean, just this feminine, divine feminine energy that you embody. Three cards underneath that. Yeah, they have this victory energy, this flowing passion energy, this equal attraction energy, the King of Wands. Yeah, they do see here the King of Wands is it's not like a prince, a young prince who is like a little chihuahua going around humping everyone's legs. They can control their passions with people, and so it's a maturity of acting when to act on passions and when not to. And I like this, energy. It's like, yeah, I'm not, a teenager that just is like, oh my God, I'm not ruled by my libido, right? He's got self-control, and I like that energy here. And the Three of Pentacles, which is an energy, I feel like they're having this energy of their community, like their group energy. The friends and some family are like their circle of, when it comes to this group energy. And that's where a lot of their heart is balanced, and it's like that's their anchor, is this solid group of people that he's had in his life for a very long time. um a poker buddy, this, that, whatever. But also this emotion is about how they honor that you are true to your authentic self and how creative and different you are than anyone they've ever met. And they really they're just thinking about all these things, all the things they appreciate and love about you and their life too. That's why I feel like they're kind of doing a big life review, overhaul. What am I going to take out of my life and what am I going to move forward in? And you're in the move forward energy. So don't worry, breathe. um, what's coming up next for you guys? Next week, you have the Emperor card here and the Five of Swords. So there is, conflict energy, but I don't feel like this is so much between the two of you as it is within yourselves. And the Emperor energy is, I feel like you both are trying to decide what's next. What do you want to do? Because the Emperor is, I decide what I want for my life, and then I'm going to make a plan to move forward. And the conflict is between what the mind is saying you think you should, and blah, 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 and what the heart wants, right? And the mind is like, no, no, you can't have that. And the heart is like, this is what I want. So there's this battles going inside of you guys. And I feel like you're both, and this is normal for humans. It's like, well, if this is the person that's important in my life, I want to make joint decisions, which, you know, compromise is good in doing this, but there's also the importance, which really comes up, I feel, this week for you guys. And important to know what it is that I want, independent of everyone and else, even the person that we're madly drawn in love with, right? But it's like, oh, but I want to make sure that what I want matches what they want. And it's like that's not a relationship. That's a dictatorship, right? That's the emperor that becomes a dictator instead of a loved emperor. A loving emperor is going to ask, what do you want? And let's see if we can make that happen. And then saying, this is what I want. Let's see how that can happen. It's about having dreams, not having our dreams dependent on other people's dreams. And then we find out how we can overlap the dreams and have this togetherness with someone while still maintaining our independent part of our dreams too. It doesn't have to be our dreams have to be circles that overlap one another. No, it's circles that have some that overlap, but there's also some other. That's healthy energy, I feel. Anyway, that's what they have. How many times? 3 times next week. Let's see your first card. You have the Hierophant, teacher student energy. There might be something to be done at school. That's the energy of teacher student. So I feel like there might be something where you go hang out at their work or an event that's related to their job. You have the Two of Swords. There is here, it's like I feel like lately you guys have had like one together to talk and just to chat and to talk things out. That Two of Swords is like the Five of Swords, but it's to talk things out, to really have like this, what are our decisions to make? There's Two of Swords. It's, are we going to go this way or are we going to go this way? So I feel like there's this um talky conversational type of get together. Not I'll go, we need to talk, but they're bringing back how you guys would go for a walk and go to a park and have great conversations and deep discussions. I feel like that's what this is let's go for a walk and just chat. Let's see what's going on. What are you thinking? What's on your mind? This is what's on my mind. It's a sharing of that. I feel like that's one as well. And then you have the Judgment card too. This is different because this is our higher self asking us to see things from a higher perspective. Um, this Judgment, though, is coming in here. They're just saying here on the day of the court case, do you have something happening next week? Because this Judgment, they're bringing in the judge, the court kind of situation. I feel like you guys get together on that day too, because they want to see how things went. How are you doing? And that carrying thing. So I feel like 3 times, um, based on current energy, is what's coming in there. Updates on the dark side. Yeah, trying to figure things out, see things from a higher perspective. With the Justice card, it is that energy of trying to see things differently, trying to whittle away. They balance things out. And that's that whole thing we're talking about. They're balancing the scales. What am I taking off? And what am I adding on to the other side of the scale? So they are in that contemplation, especially a lot to do with the mind energy there. All right, let's take a look here. The last three cards are for your court case. What will happen on the case with your ex in court? Yeah, we have the Five of Pentacles. So this seems to be you have the key here. This fear of lack, the fear of not having enough, being enough. Be aware, and you can change that energy, right? Because when we focus on all our fears and all that, we get more of that. So really be aware of this feeling of fear of worth, fear of lack, fear of not being enough, having enough, fear of being left behind, left out in the cold. Just really um, try to move your energy from that, because the five is a number of transformation from lack to gratitude. What are you grateful for in your life? And what are you grateful for in your interactions that you've had with your ex? Because we focus on the things we hate and the things that aren't didn't go well, whatever, we get more because we're telling the universe we want more of that. So really, I feel like they're saying how things unfold has so much to do with your energy and what you're drawing in. So really check into that. Will you win your case? The World card, one of the celebration victory cards, the ending of a cycle, beginning a new adventure, based on current energies. Feels like a win. And what will happen? Yep, Knight of Swords, movement of communication, clarity coming in, the quest for um, clarity around things. I feel like there's going to be some uh, important legal documents that are putting things, and I feel like there's an update on, I don't know, terms and conditions with that swords energy. But it feels very positive. It feels movement. It feels like things move fast with it too. Decisions are made fast. But it feels like it is for you. It all is, but the victory energy coming in means that you feel like it's a victory for yourself and your children, of course. See what your fortune cookie brings in for you as well. All right. Whoa, no, not all those. All right, this one. Yeah, peace, the dove. I love that. Be at peace. It is possible for you. When we get caught up in all those stories and all that other stuff, you get pulled out there. It's breathe and come back to gratitude, right? But let's see what the dove brings for you here. So, the dove, a universal symbol of peace, love, and harmony, represents the power of tranquility and the importance of finding inner calm. Doves are often seen as messengers of peace, bringing a sense of serenity wherever they go. This card suggests that you may need to seek peace within yourself or in a situation or situations. The dove reminds you that true peace comes from within and radiates outward to create harmony in your environment. So, when you're at peace on the inside, you see a peaceful world, you experience a peaceful world. When you're at war on the inside, then you get war on the outside as well. So, in your relationship with Wally, with you, in your relationship with your ex, with work, with anything in your world, it all starts in here. And whatever is going on in here is what gets projected and what we draw in. So if you find yourself not in peace a lot, it's because this noodle is trying to control things, because it needs it needs these things to happen in order to feel safe, in order to feel in control. So when you question, whenever you have like this rattling up of things, you can ask, what am I trying to control? What or who am I trying to fix? And what of my expectations? Um, what are my expectations of a situation or a person? And because that's where my disappointment is. And when we start to realize all of that, at the root of that is fear, we ultimately ask ourselves, what am I fearing? Because then we bring it up when we keep our fears in the dark, they seem so much bigger. We turn on the light, something that was huge in the dark is very small in the light. And we're like, why am I afraid of this? I'm going to be fine either way. No matter what happens between you and Wally, you were fine before you met him. You'll be fine if you're ever without him. With your ex, you were fine before you met them, and with whatever situations unfolded, you'll be fine after any, um, things are decided, right? As well. Okay, there's more. The light energy of this card says, "Seek peace within yourself and strive for harmony in your relationships." Not fighting, not I need to win, not I need to this. It's about what's the win-win situation, not I want to win. That's not a no one ever wins in a win-lose situation. Even though we think we win, we end up losing, right? In some way within us. Um, Calm and tranquility will bring clarity and healing. The shadow side of this card says you may be avoiding conflict to maintain peace, leading to unresolved tensions or passive aggression. Consider whether true peace can be achieved without addressing underlying issues. Questions you can ask yourself: how can I find inner peace? Two, am I avoiding conflict in the name of peace? Or three, what steps can I take to create harmony in my life? Yeah, that other is I can avoid conflict in the name of peace, and maybe in one relationship. The other, maybe I'm over in the other direction, right? All right. But that's what they have for you, Maria. So thank you again for your donation. Greatly appreciate that. All right. So Ashvin Ray, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. All right. Oops. Have to hit enter. And let's give your donation a love and a like here. Thank you for that, since it lets me do that. You want to know when and how are you going to meet your spouse? All right, let's take a look here. I actually have these learning tarot deck here that I got a while ago, that I just came across in as I'm starting to sift through and organize things. I love it because on the card they have dates on them. And so I'll use that for the when, and we'll see what comes through for that, and then relate hows, because I feel like it is a range of dates, and I feel like, of course, the how can vary by dates, right? So we've got one, we've got two, we've got three different opportunities that you can meet them here. And we'll see what these bring in, and then find out more about the how, because there's ranges depending on our energy, right? Well, we'll see which one relates here, because I feel like are all of these based on the current energy. Yeah, they're like based on current energy. This is when three different opportunities you have to meet them. Um, but your energy, of course, can switch too, because there's always multiple ways that our paths will cross. But if I choose not to take a path, then one is eliminated, and it might create another one or two or three other if we go a different route. But it's all about our choices every day, is determining what path we're taking. And there's just so many, it's like millions of different paths we can take in these lifetimes based on moment to moment choices. It's like, though, they're showing me, I think it's in Japan, they have these um, games that are vertical. They're in plexiglass. They have all these little um, bars in it, and you drop a ball in it. Tick, 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 tick. It just depends on, and all these different places on the bottom where it can end up, and you, depending on where it goes, it's different points or whatever. But it's and it can start off over here, end up way over here, or go all the way over and bounce and end up back over here. And so that's like they're showing it all depends. So it's I guess it's just important to realize that, and the biggest thing we can do is focus on raising our love vibration, because the more we let go of thoughts and emotions that no longer serve us, and energy and physical things that don't serve us anymore, when we raise our love vibration through self-love and our higher self-worth, that speeds things up and draws things in sooner, right? If I don't, then that can mean a very late meeting of them, and we have less time with them in the lifetime. So, the biggest thing we can do for ourselves in meeting on the love of our lives is, one, realizing we are the love of our lives first. And as we raise our love vibration, then we draw ourselves closer to each other faster. All right, enough of that. Let's see the dates. You have February to March 20th. That would, of course, be next year, since we're already by it with the Wheel of Fortune, a 10. And then you have the 10 of Wands, which is December 20th, all the way to March 7th coming in here. They do have December 20th of 2023 to March 7th of 2026. So you've been able to meet them since at least December 20th. But if I don't feel like you've met them yet. So there is, they're bringing in those ranges. And then I like this, the 7 of Swords, every 2 to 3 days. So they must be in your path. They must attend or be somewhere that you attend. Maybe it's near work or something, but you have an opportunity to meet them every 2 to 3 days. Interesting. Let's find out the wheres with these real quick. Let's find out that one. I'm most interested in that one, because that one's like, wait a minute, what? Where? Okay, so that's 2 to 3 days. That's those. The one that's been since December 20th. Can you tell us more about that one of the where? Okay, thank you. They're bringing up 2 cards for that one too. And then the February 20th to March 20th, that's next year. Okay, that's way too many. All right. Yeah, they've been 2 and 2 and 2. They're bringing back the 9 of Cups. This is, of course, it's dream come true energy, but the 9 is the hermit's journey. It's all about finding the self-love in here first, with all that. All right, so where every 2 to 3 days, there is somewhere with thinking and communication, the 4 of Swords and the 6 of Swords. There is this having to do with the mind, putting the mind at rest. Um, the 6 of Swords is movement, letting go of old ways, thinking of new ways. I almost feel like this is, I don't know if there's some sort of class or some sort of meditation or temple, but I feel like every 2 to 3 days, especially this peace of mind and moving from choppy waters to calmer waters, which is what the 6 of Sword is. Both of these are about mental peace, which immediately I thought of meditation. So I feel like there's someone, um, well, I mean, not someone, but your future spouse. I feel like they attend somewhere where you always go, where you have a possibility every 2 to 3 days to bump into someone. So I don't know if you go to a meditation place or a temple or something where you would attend to bring peace of mind, or your therapist if you're seeing a therapist. That could also work, but I feel it's more meditational because I feel like it's more spiritual than it is psychological. All right. And then what is this since December 20th of 2023 all the way till next year? Got the Queen of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is this mother energy and this balance, these choices of the outside world here. I feel like, I don't know why mom or mother energy has something to go in here. Don't know if there's someone or some avenue. I don't know if like a mother or someone who has been like a mother figure for you, um, that they've been wanting you to try something to meet someone. It's like, but you're always like, well, no, I don't really want it. Whether it's, I want you to meet, a friend of mine's so and so, um, whoever it is, um, their family member, and you're like, well, not really ready for that, or not yet, or matchmaker, or something that like the mother. I feel like there's this mother getting involved. It's like, ugh, but it's a mother figure, in your life. And they've been, I feel like since December 20th of 2023 have been, oh, what it would be great if you could meet this person sometime. And you're like, yeah, we'll see, we'll see. You keep brushing it off whenever they bring it up. It's that kind of energy. That's funny. So you might be like, all right, mom, or whoever, fine. And then the February 20th of March 20th next year, we've got Mother Luna energy and the Knight of Swords too, which is movement of thought and belief. But what is this moon energy for this period here? What is this? Because it feels different. It's weird. Not weird, just different. Because the moon energy, I feel like so much is about well, I'm hearing moon ritual. Not sure if you do anything like that, but it's like a moon gathering. And it can be some sort of festival that's around a moon. That's between February 20th and March 20th. Oh, March 20th would be a spring celebration, right? Because that's the spring equinox on March 20th. But it could be some sort of celebration, of spring, of spring. Yeah, because that's the beginning. It's the ending of uh, winter and going into spring. And the Knight of Swords is communicating something with that. It's almost like participating, speaking at something. I don't know if there's going to be some sort of celebration where you end up being a part of something, but I feel like there's a speaking role in it or something where either you or they are in front of everyone, because I feel like, they stand out in the crowd or you stand out in the crowd. Either way, you guys spot each other and are like, whoa, So I feel like it's some sort of festival that's them. So hopefully that makes sense. We'll see what your fortune cookie brings in here too. We're going deep today. I did not expect to go that deep into all those. You probably didn't either. All right, let's see. What's your fortune cookie say about your future spouse? All right, no. I feel like there's two routes with spouses too. Excuse me. Let's see what this says here. Yeah, you got Patience the turtle. Yay! Ride the waves. But I feel like you don't have like a fixed, it's going to be only one person. I feel like if you go this route with choices, you end up with this person. You go this route, you end up with this person. But I feel like the route that you've taken, you're really, um, into the area here. It's still not too late for change, but I feel like you ventured enough into this territory where it would take a while to go in the other direction and end up with someone different. But it's not too late. But there is a couple. But right now, we're talking about all of this as the person that you're heading toward. So the turtle, a symbol of patience, longevity, and steady progress, represents the wisdom of taking life one step at a time. Turtles move slowly but surely, carrying their homes on their backs and teaching us the value of patience and persistence. This card suggests that you may need to slow down and be patient with yourself or a situation. The turtle reminds you that slow and steady wins the race, like the old rabbit and hare. The higher, lighter energy of the card is practice patience and trust in the process. Progress may be slow, but it's steady and sure. The shadow energy of the card says your patience may be turning into complacency or avoidance. Consider whether you are using waiting as an excuse to avoid taking action or making decisions, like in the case with mom or whatever that feminine influences in your life. Questions you can ask yourself: one, where do I need to be more patient? Two, am I being too complacent or avoiding action? And three, how can I trust in the process? All right. So that is what they have for you. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. All right. So we'll continue moving down the list here. Up next, we do have Marissa Smith, and then we will go to Sudeshna, and then Crescent Moon. Hello, hello. All right. Okay, very good. So let me switch out decks here. So Marissa, you are up. Let's grab yours at 121.36 here. All right. So thank you so much for your donation, Marissa. Greatly appreciate that. And your question here is, when will you see the Aries man again? You feel insecure about the last time that we were together. All right. Excuse me. Let's take a little sip of coffee. Cheers to you. And we'll find out what is happening here. So when will you see? Oh, let's use our when energy of the Learning Tarot deck. See what they have to say here, and then we'll dive deeper and find out what else. All right, this one here. So before we see that card, let's pull the other cards to see what else they want you to know about the situation with the Aries. All right, we got this below the surface and these two. All right, let's scooch these over here. That way I have more space. All right. Bottom of the deck, we start off with the Five of Swords energy, which is a conflicting energy between head and heart, which makes sense. I kind of feel here, both of you are kind of in a conflicted place between what your heart wants and what your head is interfering. And I feel that's where the noise or the static is coming in between the two of you, because your mind is being loud, their mind is being loud, but your hearts are waving at each other. Hey, it's like two kids and the parents are arguing with someone on their phones. They're distracted with conflicts in their life, but the little children are waving at each other and playing with each other. That's funny. All right. So let's see, based on current energies right now, when will you see the Aries again here? You have August 30th to September 14th. Oh, wow. That's tomorrow. So I feel like there might be communication based on current energies. I mean, that would have to be tomorrow or a year from now. But wow. So it feels like any day here with that kind of energy. We'll see, these three cards I feel like have to do more with the when, and these other cards have to do with more information that they want you to know about here. So the timing, Seven of Cups, there's some emotional confusion going on. That Seven of Cups, they're like, I don't know what I want. I just feel confused. Yeah, the Devil card makes sense too, because this is Capricorn Saturn energy. They're this the shaking and the rattling of the cage of long held thoughts and belief. That's the noise. Emotional confusion, mental, going on as well. Yeah, and the Seven of Swords, which is And one, I mean, it's the thievery card, it's the deceiver, it's the sorry, my slipper's falling off. There it goes. um, but I don't feel that energy. I feel like this with that, especially with that devil card energy. Um, it's what of my own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets cheat me or deceive me, and keep me from having opportunities. And I feel like that's what happens here is our minds end up talking our hearts out of things. And then the heart's like, I wanted to go. I wanted to do that. But the mind's like, no, it's best we don't. It's like, I want ice cream. And it's like, well, it's not good for you. And the mind talks us out of even just having just a little scoop. I don't have to have a gallon. Can I just get a little share a pint or Haagen-Dazs with someone? Just a little. I can split it. I don't have to have a full gallon and overdo it. Um, but we cheat ourselves out of opportunities because of our noggin, the noodle, right? So I feel like that's what's been delaying it. But um, I do feel like maybe there will be communication tomorrow, especially with that it's August 30th to September 14th. Interesting. Let's see what else Spirit wants you to know about this right now. Yeah, Queen of Cups. Trust your gut, trust your intuition, you know, allow allow your heart to lead, and your gut. Listen to your gut though, but let your heart lead. And so if you want to reach out, if you want to do something, do it. Follow that instinct of like, I want to reach out to them. Um, and that way I feel like if you do, then they're like, because they might be caught in that same thing of going, they're feeling insecure about when you guys met last time. And they're like, oh, they're not really interested in me, I don't think. Because they're living in their head too, right? We have temperance, which is patience, things slowly unfolding. So there's a little bit of patience energy around that, even though we don't see things. And that's mainly, I feel like it's not them telling you be patient and wait. This is more about understanding that as the magic of the temperance cards, because there's like two cups normally. And when you put the base metal and the magic in there, even though you're pouring it, going back and forth, going, when is this going to turn to gold? We don't see the magic and the transformation that's happening, but then suddenly it happens. And so this is just understanding that even though I don't see something, doesn't mean that something's not unfolding. Um, I'm just not seeing it yet. You also have the star card and the devil card. Yeah, so the devil card's coming up here. Big thinker. You guys have that in common, right? And yeah, and Aquarius. I got Aquarius and Capricorn energy. It's funny. I'm an Aquarius sun, Capricorn rising, so I can totally relate with this energy of that Aquarius. Even though they're water bears, they're air signs. They get into the thinking and overthinking. Capricorn, even though they're an Earth energy, they get stuck in this thinking of how things should be and supposed to be. They can have the stuff and I feel like, and maybe you can relate to it too, that we can get so stuck in our head of how we think things are supposed to go. When they don't, we think, oh, it didn't go well. Um, when in reality, it's fine. But our mind, because it was like, it needed to be this and this and this, and because it doesn't, it was a flop. And that's where our insecurities come from. Instead of going, it turned out perfectly the way it needed to in that moment, as is the next moment and this moment and future moments. It's always perfect for my adventure. And instead of judging it harshly, we can celebrate our moments. It'll bring us it colors the page differently with how we're looking at it, right? Am I going to use the bright crayons or the dark crayons? That's funny. I never heard that before. I'm going to use that now. And then the bottom of the deck, yeah, Knight of Swords, movement of communication. So I like this. I feel like there is a bit of a nudge here of you don't have to wait for them to communicate with you, you can communicate with them. Yeah, because even on the bottom of the deck, like you said, you had the Five of Swords. There's also the King of Swords, which is like that Aquarius energy. They're not only rule over thinking, they all the kings get a second portion. They're the masters of thinking. So there's a lot of overthinking going on. And it's almost like thinking about it's like if you walk back and forth by the dishes going, I need to do that, I need to do that, I need to do that, I need to do that. How much energy we put into it is so much more than if we just did the dishes. And it's like there was only 6 dishes in the sink. Took me, you know, 60 seconds, and now that's done, and every time I walk by the sink, I don't see him anymore. It's like, yeah, well, are they gonna call me? Are they gonna do this? I'm gonna reach out to them, and then, either way, it's not gonna ruin it, That's what I love about if me reaching out to someone impacts the where they don't want to talk to me anymore, then I want that to happen so that I don't waste energy on them anymore. Because in my mind, that needs to end. If I reach out and I am afraid of what answer I'm going to get, I'm spending so much energy thinking about it. It's just like, just reach out, just do it. Because if they are like, no, no, I'm not interested, then you're like, thank you, bye. Psh. This is about you. And I dodged a bullet some way, somehow. It's for me. If it doesn't work out some way, just means there's an upgrade for me coming. If I didn't get this little thing that was on sale, it means it was going to fall apart. I'm going to get the bigger one at that's going to last forever. That's what I want. So hopefully that helps. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here too. What else for Marissa? Is what are we really afraid of, right? That's where insecurity comes from. What are we afraid of? I'm afraid I'm not good enough for them. No. When we realize I am priceless, and if someone can't recognize my worth, then I'm glad that they make me aware that they're that stupid that they can't see my worth, because then I'm like, you're not going to appreciate me like I deserve to be appreciated. If you can't recognize my worth, you're telling me what I need to know. Thank you. Bye-bye. Yeah, you have the owl with wisdom. It's interesting because the owl's on their head here. And I like this because they're bringing back an old, gosh, this is way, 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 way back. I heard a pastor say once, this is how long ago it was. This was like probably back in the 90s. What? I know. Century ago. um 1990s, not the 1890s. I'm not a vampire. But the owl on their head, the pastor had said was, thoughts are like birds. It's okay if a bird comes lands on your head, because it's okay if the thought comes in, but don't let it build a nest on your head. So that owl of wisdom can come here. But so these thoughts that come in, it's okay that the thoughts come in, but when we, let it build a nest on our head, then we're going to end up with a lot of bird poo poo on us, right? Because they're always flying around the nest. But it's also like if you look at the mental stream as a stream of our thoughts, and that there's leaves that are on there, some leaves that have fallen, and there's a dead leaf floating on the stream in front of us. We can just watch it go by. It comes in and it leaves, or I can grab it, pick it up, look at it, smell it, touch it, feel it, and then taste it, eat it. It becomes a part of me for a while, and then you poop it out, right? And it's like it could have just went by, but when we absorb it and um, you know have it go through our entire process of our being, it lasts longer and it hangs around longer, right? Especially if we keep picking up the leaf, um, similar thoughts that keep coming up on there. It's like, let's let those just go by. And if it is something that a fear that keeps coming up, then take action on it. Contact, like I said, in this case, I'm afraid of what someone will say if I If I reach out to them, get it over with. Don't keep eating the leaves, right? Or if it's a fear, um, look at the fear and go, what am I fearing with it? So that I can transform it and I don't fear it anymore, right? That can work with any of our many fears that we have as humans. All right. The owl wisdom. The owl, known for its keen sight and intuition, symbolizes deep wisdom and insight. Able to see through the darkness, the owl encourages you to look beyond the surface and trust your inner knowing. There's that Queen of Cups. This card suggests that you rely on your intuition to guide you through challenges, reminding you that true wisdom often comes from within. So trust your gut. If your gut is like, I want to call. If your is like, you know what? I don't think they're into me and I'm going to let it go. As long as it's your gut and not your fear speaking, then follow that, going, yeah, that's fine. I'm just going to let it go. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to go in and enjoy my moments. The light energy of the card says, trust your inner wisdom and allow your intuition to guide you. Clarity comes from looking beyond the obvious. The shadow energy of the card says, you may be ignoring your intuition or relying too much on logic, the brain, the noodle. Consider whether you are dismissing the wisdom within. Questions you can ask yourself: 1, how can I connect with my inner wisdom? 2, am I ignoring my intuition? And 3, what deeper truths am I overlooking? Ooh, wow. So I love that for you. So that is what they have for you, Marissa. Hope you're enjoying your day at work. Many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. All right. So Sudeshna, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. There it goes. Thank you for your donation. Let's give that a love and a like here. So you want to know the upcoming week for you in love, career, and health. All right. Of course, it's not your first rodeo. We've asked this question before, right? So you know all about the disclaimer around health. I'm not a medical professional, so tarot is for fun and entertainment purposes only. You get to ultimately make your own decisions, right? So let me take a quick sip here and we'll dive in. Then crescent moon, you'll be up after that, times 2. Oh. All right. So Sudeshna, let's take a look here. So next week for love. No, this is love. This is career, and this is health. All right. Anything else? And the overall energy for the week. Bottom of the deck, which is the overall energy of the entire reading. So that this with the underlying card will tell us more. Wow, but you are 8 of Pentacles. I feel like you're in this place here of making decisions about schooling here that's coming in, because you got the 8 of Pentacles, which is studying, putting the blood, the sweat, the tears, but it's about work. But for me, I feel like it's education. You also have the 3 of Wands, which is about a change of direction around schooling that's coming up here for you. And because you have the Chariot card, the power of choice card, and movement energy. So I feel like this week you're getting information, or you're gaining a lot of clarity about what next step I'm taking in education. What more learning do I want to do? And I feel like that's you gain a lot of clarity and you're making choices this week regarding that, with that underlying energy. So that's like, we'll see if that comes in with career too, but I feel like that kind of, comes in with that there, if that makes sense. All right. So love, what's love for this week? Yeah. Did we get this like last week or the week before? Hermit. Hermit card, of course, is about being alone. There's, on the love front, it's about inward and upward, which is the biggest thing we can do regarding love in our life is to find our self-love, because we are the one we're looking for. We're the love in our life we're looking for, because all of our relationships in the outside world are a reflection of our self-love. So the best thing I can do in so many different ways is finding my self-love, because it speeds up time, it speeds things up, brings it draws those things that match that higher vibration to me sooner. But also all of my relationships, friends, family, lovers, and everyone are uh, a reflection of that self-love, because I can't give more love than I have for myself to others, nor receive love from others more than I have for myself. So my little love conduit is like this: no matter how much love I want to give, it just drips out. No matter how much love people want to give me, just drips in. But the more I raise my love vibration and open up my self-love, then the more I am able to give and receive love to the humans. So the Hermit card is all about this energy of inward and upward connecting, spending time on you, um, because that's what will change stuff and draw in someone that and relationships that match that higher vibration. Of course, because always how we're doing, if we do lower vibrational things, right? And we focus on doing what we've always done and seeking outward instead of inward, we end up experiencing the same thing over and over again, right? Same lower vibrational people, same low vibrational experiences. We just keep looping it until uh, it's like that's the definition of insanity, right? Repeating the same thing, expecting a different result. Not going to happen, right? And in order to get a different result, we need to change our approach. I feel like that's what's coming in here with the Hermit card for you for love for next week. For career, in addition to all of that we talked about in the beginning around a change of direction and decisions that you're making for you, is coming in. You also had the Empress card underneath all of that, which is about Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, choosing something that would make your heart sing and that is your joy, instead of this is what I'm supposed to do for my head. I feel like your heart has a lot to do with that there. For your career, you've got the Knight of Swords. Yep, pursuit of education. And the Strength card. Yeah, choices, the courage, the strength to move forward and to choose for you, realizing as the Leo energy of the Strength card, you are the king of your jungle, the queen of your jungle, right? Um, and that you can move forward in pursuing what you're wanting to do. Um, yeah, it's realizing I'm going to be who I want to be, not try to be what everyone else wants me to be. It's like the sun energy. It's ruled by the sun. It's not asking permission to shine. It's not dimming your light. It's not, trying to do what everyone else is telling us to do. This is about you shining bright and being you. And that's the best thing that you can do for your life, right? So I like that with career, making choices about what you want to pursue. What new education do you want to go into, and what new learning you want to do, um, what kind of switching up you're doing. um, Health, yeah, Nine of Cups, we got joy, celebration, that nine energy, that self-love energy. Feels like things are going well with health here. Very joyful if you've been getting tests or news. I feel like something changes this week where it feels good and it feels like there's a win, a celebration. Also, an energy of remembering that your status of your emotions influences your health. So if you're stressing out, that's not helping out your body. It's being at peace as much as you can. Stepping into your heart, getting out of your head and into your heart more also helps your physical body. Underlying energy for everything, yeah, Ace of Pentacles. It feels like an abundant kind of week here with the Ace of Pentacles, bringing in new opportunity for you. But I feel like this is more so focused in on the career field, because I feel like you've been feeling really lost and very confused about things. But I feel like there's clarity that comes in for you, and you receive the information that you're wanting to be able to make the decision boldly. Go, this is what I'm going to do. I don't care what everyone else thinks. I'm going to choose this, right? Let's see what else they want you to know for the week with your oracle here from the Wild Soul Oracle. All right, there we go. And you've got cooperation, the ant. Time to get working. Those worker ants. Time to get busy. Let's go, let's go, let's go. But it's cooperation. And the ant here is the first card. It's the magician energy too, which is about action and movement. So that makes sense. The ant, a symbol of hard work and cooperation, represents the power of teamwork and the importance of community. Ants work together to achieve their goals, each one playing a vital role in the survival of the colony. This card suggests that cooperation and collaboration are essential to your success. The ant reminds you that no one is an island and that working together can achieve great things. Embrace cooperation and work as part of a team, is the higher vibration energy of the card. Collaboration will lead to success and harmony. The shadow energy of the card says you may be neglecting the power of teamwork, trying to do everything on your own. Consider whether you're isolating yourself or refusing help from others. Questions you can ask yourself: 1, how can I better cooperate with others? 2, am I trying to do too much on my own? And 3, what role can I play in my community or team? Great questions. All right, that's what they have for you, Sudeshna. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. I greatly appreciate those. All right. So up next, we will have Crescent Moon times 2. And then we have Sudeshni. Hello, Sudeshni. Long time no see. Good to see you. Hello, hello. Hope you're well as well. I am doing great. You'll be up after Crescent Moon times 2. So thank you. All right, let me just shuffle these cards back up, refresh them a little bit here. And, okay, there we go. Sorry, itch. There we go. All right, let's shuffle these up. And Crescent Moon. Let's grab your timestamp here. 1:47:54. So Crescent Moon, here's your timestamp. That is times 2, like I said. Give your first one here a love and a like, since it lets me. So thank you for your dual donations. Mind-blowing readings from Detective BZ. I love it. Thank you so much. You're so funny. All right. Always fun seeing you as well. Energy and sound effects, and always fun. I'm glad you enjoy it as much as I do. Spirit, definitely. And I just love that energy. It's almost like being giddy and high a little bit. So I like it. All right, so let's take a sip of coffee tea. Cheers to you, my friend. And let's dive in. So, question 1, energy check on ADD Sagittarius. So, what and when will they take actions towards you in September? Ooh, I have these learning tarot that have dates on them, and I came across these the other day. So I was like, oh, I'm going to use these for when questions. See if we can get dates, see if they resonate. Come on. All right. So we'll do that first. So when will they take actions towards you? In September. Let's see here. Okay, I do want this one here. Let's see, is it a September? Oh my God, it is. I love spirit. Okay, so we'll take a look there. And then I had to peek. So, what will be the action that they take? It is a period of time. It's not a specific date. It's a range, of course, but we'll see what action they take there. And then when will their first communication be? All right. Ooh, we'll grab another. Or is that it there? Well, let's do another one for when will the first communication be? There's two cards for that. We'll see what those are here. All right. And we'll take a look here about what the communication is about or like or etc. We'll see what we got there. All right. Take that. What else did you say? You're still in awe over last week's reading. Spirit brought up the ether and the dreams that you're having. You hadn't disclosed, right? Mind blowing. I'm so glad. I love spirit. I mean, I had one the other last night or the night before where I don't think this was you. That someone's asking about someone who had passed, and Gilligan's Island started playing in my head, and they were a sailor, and they were all about the SS Minnow that was coming in. It was really interesting. Oh, that wasn't you. That was someone else. But I was like, oh my gosh, the way spirit communicates too is just always hilarious. It cracks me up. All right, my dear, let's check you take a look here. So first, when will they take action towards you in September? So we got the Magician card, which is an action card. It is Mercury energy too, which is interesting because Mercury is the planet of communication, right? Mercury is the one with the little wings on their shoes. That would be bring the messages from gods to the earth, right? And it's August 23rd to September 22nd. So we have here, of course, August 23rd is already passed, all the way up through September 22nd kind of energy. So that is the beginning here. What action is taken? We got the 10 of Swords and the Ace of Cups. There we go. Well. So the 10 of Swords is about, of course, an endings energy of leaving behind old ways of thinking and old expectations and supposed to be's and the old stuff and the wanting a beginning of new, of moving from the heart instead of from the head, kind of energy that comes in here. And sorry, the bottom of the deck too, Knight of Swords, which is movement of communication too. So I like that. Very cool confirmations with Mercury and the Knight of Swords, but this ending and beginning, the 10 and the Ace too. So there is this, leaving behind some things in their life, wanting to ignite and do things. What am I waiting for? Kind of energy that comes in with that. And as we dive, of course, into when will the first communication be? We got two cards. Let's see what these are. So we've got October 24th to November 16th energy. But then we also have September 23rd to October 22nd. So I feel like these are two different communications. And I don't know, this doesn't feel like two two options. I feel like it's the first and then the second. Like they're giving you your bonus of yeah, your spirit guides know you. Well, I want to know the first, but then when will be the second one after that? Well, they're giving you that already too. So I like this, that the first actions that they're taking actually end September 22nd, and then the communications after that which is interesting because I feel like this first connection is like through text, not through, because they're really getting specific here on the form of communication, because this first piece feels like texting or email. It's like, okay, and based upon reaction and response time, that's funny. Then phone call happens, and that's the first phone call happens September 23rd to October 22nd, and and then the second time is October 24th through November 16th. So we have the Four of Swords, which is peace of mind and communication, but that one is the Eight of Pentacles, which is a conversation about transformation. And we talked about this before, right? About it's how I've changed, how what I've gone through, the blood, the sweat, the tears, that now I'm getting the fruit of that. And so it is a big um, you know, conversation about that. Um, I feel like after that there is more texting, because I do feel like they are very busy, but they have time. Like, and I feel like this conversation with the Four of Swords, it feels like a 4 hour, like, it was funny the other with that Gilligan's Island, it's a 3 hour tour. This is a 4 hour conversation. Skipper, look out for that kabunk tree. So it does feel like a very long, conversation. Guys talk for hours, um, catching up. Um, and and then there's a lot of texting and stuff in between. And then I feel like based on current energies, of course, the second thing that happens, or the second, like, and it could be short little blurb conversations, but I feel like the next important conversation happens October 24th to November 16th. We had the Seven of Cups, clarification of emotions, with this too. And underneath that, yeah, yep, there you go. Seven of Pentacles and the Moon. So the sharing of emotions and the Seven of Pentacles. Is this how things have changed, this seven energy? Because the Seven of Pentacles is like, it can feel like it takes forever for something to come to fruition. Last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit kind of stuff. But there's also a secondary message with the Seven of Pentacles, which is when the fruit starts to grow, it's like, I don't really want that. And so it feels like that communication is a communication of a change of how my emotions have changed from a long time ago, just how they've evolved and how I know more what I'm wanting. Because I feel like there was something about, I don't know what I want. And there was a lot of hidden emotions and things I wouldn't talk about and didn't talk about, and that I had stuffed down. But now I'm in a different place. I've gained a lot of clarity around my emotions and what I do and don't want, and who I am, and some, you know, stuff that was buried deep that I was projecting on other people, and just some like, wow, awareness kind of energy. So I feel like that is what they have for that. Let's see what your fortune cookie says too. So we'll have your fortune cookie for this one. And then we'll dive into your second one there. All right. What is this here? We've got grounding the turkey. This is funny. You're laughing. Instead of a 3 hour tour, it's a 4 hour tour, right? A tour through all of their experiences. It's like it's a small world ride. You're just kind of sitting there listening to it as you're going through it. It's a small world after all. So the turkey, the turkey, deeply connected to the earth, symbolizes grounding and staying rooted. Turkeys are creatures of the land, reminding us to maintain a solid connection to our environment and to remain balanced amidst life's chaos. This card suggests you focus on finding stability and being present in the moment. The turkey encourages you to root yourself and find peace in your surroundings. I feel like Thanksgiving will be important too with the turkey, of course. The light energy of the card says take time to ground yourself and reconnect with your environment. Finding balance will help you feel centered and calm. Um, the shadow energy of the card says you may feel ungrounded or scattered. Consider if you are too caught up in distractions and find ways to reconnect with the earth. Grounding is very important. Yeah, especially with an ADD Sagittarius storm. Questions you can ask yourself. One, how can I ground myself more effectively? Two, what can I do to feel more balanced? And three, am I too distracted from my surroundings? So, grounding is an important energy here. All right. So, that is what they have for that one. It's funny. All right. And then for number two, let's give that a love and a like there. So what we have here. So did the tower moment happen last week for Sagittarius? And if so, what exactly happened? Are they okay? Or was the timing of the tower pushed set to come? Yeah. Inspector BZ. I know. Third eye, private eye. Sorry if you guys hear my stomach growling. Shh, shh, let me drink some more here. Let's fill it up with some liquid. All right. So the Sagittarius, tell us about did the tower happen? First of all, let's see what we have there. Well, we have the Three of Cups energy, which is an energy of like our posse of spiritual support, which is like our spirit guides are the ones that bring in the tower, right? Yeah. Well, let's see here. Because we got the Hierophant, which is about our higher self showing us clarity. And it's like we started up the stairs towards the tower. Because the Eight of Cups is this walking away from emotions and or relationships that no longer serve. So this feels like, and we'll get details on what this is because it's weird. It's like third eye, private eye. I'm glad you like that. When we talk about the tower, we have before we come down to the earth, we have a few faded things that we want to experience, and we will tell or ask, in a loving, kinding way to our spiritual team. So if by this time this thing hasn't been removed out of my life, I need you to remove that out because I won't be able to experience this if this is still in the way, because this will keep me from doing that. So if I get up to this and I haven't removed this myself, then remove it. What's interesting is with this Three of Cups, the Hierophant, and the Eight of Cups, that combination energy is because if we're in tune and listening to our intuition, we'll hear the countdown 10, 9, 8, before the lightning hits and removes the tower. If you ever look at the tower card, there's somebody leaping out and there's someone getting blasted out, someone falling back, having been blasted. The other person dove out before the lightning bolt hit. This feels like they're diving out before the tower hits. So because they're picking up and listening to this intuition, this gut instinct that's coming in, and they're walking away from something. And so I feel like the tower got moved back a little bit, but it's because they started taking action, um, which is unique and different because the tower usually has to happen, but it's almost like it was like, okay, wait a minute, we they're doing that. We don't. It's like the that's funny. They're showing me the bull is starting to move. I don't need to zap him with the cattle prod. They are taking action. We don't need to zap it to make it move. They're starting to move. And it's enough of a wiggle room in between when the tower was requested to happen to when it absolutely needs to happen in order for the next thing to happen. So it's interesting. They were like, yeah, we built in wiggle room into the tower moment. Let's see what this tower moment is. What can we know about this here? I do feel like they're okay with all of this because they are initiating these changes, whatever this is. We'll see what is happening here. Yeah, we have the Seven of Swords. So there was some deceit, some betrayals, energy coming in here by other people, which made them realize. I feel like they're getting into their own thoughts and beliefs that have cheated them out of opportunities and deceived them, and they're seeing how there's been deception and betrayal in the outside world too. But they're seeing it as a reflection of, well, I was betraying myself. So this great awareness around this um, energy. Let's see what this is. Because underneath that Seven of Swords, we do have the Ace of Cups. Just feel emotional. Well, with the Eight of Cups, we knew it was emotional, but it feels like here, like a new self-love energy. Yeah, even on the bottom underneath that, it's been a while coming here with the Temperance, which is patience, and Seven of Pentacles, which is a patience energy. And underneath that, the Three of Pentacles, being more true to one's authentic self. It's been bubbling and they've been working to this thing. Again, there's this energy of I got to be true to me. I got to allow myself to be the authentic me coming in here. Again, the underneath that we've got the 10 of swords, which is a walking away energy like this. I'm tired of trying to be what everyone else wants me to be. And so I'm making choices. I'm walking away from things that don't serve anymore. Got the Ace of Wands and the Eight of Wands under that, and the Six of Wands. We're doing a whole like reading on the bottom of the deck. They're just bringing it all in. Action, 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 and victory energy. I'm taking action towards my victory. That's coming in. Yeah. Even, well, we're just going to go through the entire deck. The 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. My joy of finding fullness of life. I want to go out tens, endings and beginnings energy, right? But and even the full card under that. With all of this, there's all of this coming in where they're coming to this place in their life where we might have talked about it before, but it's like, what am I waiting for to live my dream to die? I'm tired of putting my heart to the side of what my heart wants. I'm ready to act on my dreams kind of energy. Yeah, we got the Temperance card again. And so they got all that temperance energy that's flowing this way. Yeah, and even under that, we got the movement of relationship and love energy. I mean, so that's on the bottom of the deck as we went through all that. So I definitely feel like there is this tower moment that would be coming, is just to remove something so that they would move from it. But if they're moving from it, then the old doesn't need to be taken away. They're like, we don't need to go through all that electric shock energy to be able to, you know, be able to move forward. Let's see. Now, the remaining cards here, this was the what. The what is this movement from, and this the tower journey-ish, everything surrounding the leaping out of the tower. The tower. And the devil card, yeah. So this energy here, the 15 to the 16, I like that they have the 15 after, so it's like, um, the tower card, what how it was spared is because they are doing this inner reflection. They're like, "All right, I'm gonna do the inner reflection." It's interesting too, they're bringing in that the devil card, uh, ruled by Saturn, the planet Saturn is the taskmaster. And what's great about the Capricorn devil card energy is they don't just say, "Here, do this inner work." They're like, "If you do this work, then here's the reward." And because they're doing the work, the reward is you don't have to have the tower where it's moved out of your way suddenly. Psh. It's because they've been really evaluating thoughts and beliefs that don't serve anymore, allowing their heart to have more of a lead. Um, that this is the changes that are happening. Let's see the three cards under the surface here. Yeah, Ace of Cups. Wow, that came up before too. So this is has to do with love and leaving what they thought they loved, both in job and in person, like human connections, friends, love interests, like I said, job, career, things that don't serve them, and they're like, "I'm ready to live what I wanna do." Let's see what else we have here. Yeah. Mother nature, mother nurture, following my heart, creating what I want, allowing my creativity to come forward. I'm gonna birth what I want in my life. Energy that comes in here. I'm liking it. And then, yeah, the Page of Pentacles, new opportunities, higher opportunities in the outside world, taking those things. So I feel like this is the I'm giving notice because I'm starting this new job. I am backing off of where I'm focusing my energy with other people that don't serve me anymore. I'm getting rid of stuff. It almost it's like it stops shy of being in a midlife crisis because it's not a crisis. It's a midlife transformation because they I feel like they're it felt like they've been in crisis, and now this feels like having been in a crowded room full of people that's noisy and loud and you can't hardly move, to getting towards the door and getting out onto a terrace that's open and wide and quiet, and you can breathe and there's fresh air. This is kind of the feeling that they have here. So I feel like they've avoided it because they are making these choices. So the tower card, that's funny that it came up, but it's because that's the reward for them making and doing the inner work and making those choices. So very interesting. Boom, boom, boom. Here goes this life transformation that they're in, but they're ready for a start and to do things the way they want to. But there's also that energy of like I don't want to. There's things that I like. They're still drawn to you, but they don't want to do it the way that they would have done it before. They want to do it in a new, more me way. Um, and that's interesting. That'll be a fun thing to experience. They're like, no, we're not going to tell you. I'm like, all right, not today. So I'm like, what does that mean? What is that like? And they're like, that's part of the adventure. That's part of the excitement, is getting to know the new yous. Because of course you have changed as well. You're not the same person you were. So it's about discovering each other in new ways. And it's not disappointing, so there's nothing to worry about. But it's like an adventure feel instead of like a return to old things. It's like a new adventure. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, so that is what they have for you right now, Crescent Moon. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your dual donations. Greatly appreciate those. All right. Let me just do this down here. So we've got Sudeshni ×2 coming up, and then Jojo will circle back around for your number 2 in about 15 minutes, depending on where I'm at here. I'm trying something new at 2:30. If I haven't done any free readings, then I'm going to jump and do some free readings for at the most 30 minutes. Is the plan. And then if I have any donations I hadn't got to, then I'll return back to those. But I probably, we'll see here. All depends on how much spirit talks. All right. So that's the plan. So hang in there, everybody. Thank you again for all the thumbs up and all your patience in getting to your readings. Greatly appreciate those. All right. So Sudeshni, you're at 216 even. This is times 2. So we'll definitely do your 2. Johanna, we might come back to yours, but we'll see. So let's give your first one a love and a like there, Sudeshni. Good to see you. So did Lamar do this? Was that? See? Oh, do this because of school pressure or his dad? Oh, okay. We'll take a look here. You're very welcome, Crescent Moon. All right, let's take a look here. So did he do it school pressure or dad or both, right? So let's take a look here. Was it school pressure? Was it dad? I like these two. And anything else underlying here? Bottom of the deck, there is a bit of joy, 10 of Cups energy here. 10 of Cups feels like normally it's a joy card, but it's really standing out the people, that I did it to please people for harmony's sake. It's like it was just easier to do this because it made a lot of people happy. More so, I feel like it's more on the side of it kept people from being unhappy. Like it meets expectations. It didn't like go above and make people joyful. It just kept the peace. I feel. Let's look at the underlying energy here too. Yeah. 3 of Wands. They do plan on taking a different direction in the future with whatever this is that they've done. They do feel like they will do it differently or change direction in the future. They're like, this is good for now, but I've got plans. And so there's going to be a change of plans later. So whatever this is that happened, I feel like there's going to be it's just a Band-Aid on a gaping, like a Band-Aid on a broken arm. They're going to put a cast and do something differently in a bit to repair it. But this was it's like triage. It helped calm things down in the moment, but they will do something later, if that makes sense. We'll take a look here. Was school pressure, did it have something to do with it? Yeah, a little bit. Look at this, because we have the 3 of Wands as the underlying energy, because I used 2 decks. They knew with school pressure, they're like, I will do this now, because the King of Wands is they're very they've got swords energy, thinking energy behind, very planning out their how am I going to use my energy. And the 3 of Wands is that I'll do this for now and then I'm going to change later kind of energy. For dad, yeah. Yeah. They have the 10 of wands. Here's the burden and what's the best way to invest my energy? It's like I've come a long way, and but the 7 of swords is the deceiver, um lying energy, right? So it's like I feel like they've done what they've done just to calm people down, or what is it called when you I forget what word it is, but it basically is like just satisfy momentarily is the word. There's a word that means I just pacify, is that the word? Pacify someone for a moment. Like the baby's crying here, stick this in this little whatever those the pacifier. Sometimes I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. They're like pacifier. Oh yeah, that pacifier in the baby's mouth because it pacifies them for now, but it's not going to last forever. It'll make them be quiet till they spit out the pacifier because what they really want is something else, right? But I like the bottom of the deck. We have the 7 of wands, which is about them being true to their authentic self. That they dim their light for a moment, but they're going to shine and choose for themselves. They have plans to choose for themselves later, even creating their own stuff with the Empress card, choosing that which will um, make their heart feel fuller. So I think for now, it just feels like pacification, but change will be coming. So it's not a permanent action. So I feel like that's what they have for that one. Hopefully that resonates there for you. Your fortune cookie, I feel like we'll do on your second reading here. We get one per session. So that's what we'll do. Let's give your second donation a love and a like here. Is there something more going on with Johann than that he's not telling you? His outburst. Is there someone else? Is he being true about his love for you? All right. Let's take a look here. Let's refresh this energy and connect into Johann and your guys' connection. Let's take another sip real quick here. All right. I want to zero in first. Is there someone else? Okay. And they'll tell us in here, is he being true about his love for you there? 3 cards. Boom, boom, boom. And then, thank you. Tell us about this outburst. Anything else going on here? All right. Let's see what we got here. So, is there someone else? Is he true here? Okay. All right. Let's look at the outburst. I know. Okay. Let me just tell. Well, let's look at the outburst first. Okay. Anything else going on below the surface here? Let me just look here. All right. Let's get an overall feel for the energy here. I know, Sudeshni. Well, the bottom of the deck, we started off with the 2 of Pentacles, which is this energy that came in the physical world of the Pentacles, and that there is two choices of the outside world that come in with that. I saw that and I'm like, all right, well, let's just see what that means, because sometimes it can mean a variety of different things. But when we're looking at um, you know, are they true? Is there someone else? We've got the 7 of Pentacles, we've got the Tower card, we have the 10 of Cups, which is the relationship and the love. They do have feelings for you, but with it being the 10 of Cups with the Tower and the 7 of Pentacles, all of that energy together doesn't necessarily mean that the 2 of Pentacles kind of tells me there's another interest out there, but I almost feel like that it's a ghost, it's a mirage. It's like it's not a real person. It's the idea of who they want. It's these three actors together with this person with that personality. It's like a Frankenstein monster of all the things you love and are attracted with all these people. Put it all together, and that's who I want. And we're like, that person don't exist. It's a mirage in a desert. As soon as you get to it, it disappears, right? And this is the kind of energy I'm getting because it feels like here's you solid in the real world, and there's this little dreamy ghost of this thing here. And what I'm feeling like with this is that, you know, they thought here, the Seven of Pentacles is an energy of, you know, the last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit, but there's also that Seven of Pentacles, which is when you start to get the fruit from the tree, you're like, it's not really giving me what I thought it would give me. And that's what I feel like they're getting towards. It's not that they don't care about you. It's just like they're like, but you're not I'm not feeling inside me what I thought I would in in with this love. And the whole thing is that we all experience that until we find our self-love, because we're looking in the wrong place for our self-love. We're looking out here, and what we get is conditional love. What we're our soul is hungering for is the eternal unconditional love that we only find in our own heart, inward and upward, not outward. And that's the whole thing that we all learn after a while is like, why all these 15 people I dated, why am I not feeling full? Well, there's a common denominator when we discover that. I discovered that after my 5 long-term ish relationships. I considered long-term anywhere between 1 and 3 years. So, and I'm like, why is the same stuff happening? Why am I not experiencing? Oh, I'm the common denominator. I'm not happy, in these relationships because I'm not getting what I'm looking for because it's in here, not out here, right? And that's what is kind of coming in here is that kind of energy. And they're frustrated. There's this desperation feel that comes in, with the Page of Wands can be at heightened hissing energy, fire energy, right? Which is when we're in that desperation, that's when we have outbursts, right? That's when our fears, because we fear I'm never going to find love, I'm never going to find my, mirage. You're like, you're right. Because the mirage, you're going to find it in here if you look in here, because that perfect person is ourself. Only we fit ourselves that perfectly. But then we can have a beautiful reflection of that self love in the outside world with someone. But until we do that, every reflection we have with everyone else is going to be a reflection of how I feel about myself. So if I have low self love, I'm going to experience low self love from everyone, or low love from everyone. No matter if, because we talk about if I love myself this much, no matter how much someone gives me love, I'm only going to experience drip, drip, drip. And no matter how much love I feel I'm pouring out to the world, all the world is getting is drip, 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 drip. And that's what all comes in here, right? Underneath that Page of Wands energy with the outburst, we have the Eight of Wands, the pressure of speed to try to find a fulfilled life with the King of Pentacles. But there's this energy of, I'm not feeling fulfilled in anything. And I feel like there's this desperation and this irritation. And when we're desperate, that's when we act like a 2-year-old instead of like a mature adult, right? Because when we go into fight or flight mode, we revert back to our little inner child and its pet hissing cat. It boots out our intelligent, loving, compassionate side, and we act from our 2-year-old hissing cat self. It's going to do whatever it feels it needs to do to feel safe and in control. And that's fight or flight. I'm going to outburst and fight, or I'm going to run away and flee, or numb and become still, like the freeze. And so, that's what the source of all that is. So, um, I feel like that I don't feel like they're going to like get a aha enlightenment moment of, oh, this is about me. No, let's still hang out. I feel like they will end up ending things because um, I feel like they're kind of in this, like I said, desperation, but they're also still in their illusion that this mirage exists somewhere out there. Let's see what the fortune cookie brings in for you here as well. I see why they wanted to wait for this reading for your fortune cookie. Give you some more clarity here. All right, what else do they have here for you? Yeah, Joy, the dolphin. And we have that Ten of Cups joy energy. So let's see what this brings in here. The dolphin. I love dolphins. They are joy. Card number 15. Dolphins, known for their playful and social nature, symbolize joy, harmony, and communication. They are creatures of the ocean who bring light and laughter wherever they go. This card encourages you to embrace joy and to seek out moments of playfulness and connection in your life. The dolphin reminds you that that joy is not just a fleeting emotion, but a state of being that can be cultivated. And that is so true. I mean, joy is our natural state. We just are taught to have unjoy, and we experience unjoy as humans when that outside world doesn't meet up to what we think it should be. But we can also live in a state of gratitude, which is knowing that everything that's unfolding is for us. I can have joy in moments. I mean, technically, we could live a whole life of joy and not have any lower vibration, but well, how boring would that be? We already have that on the other side. But we come down here to contrast unjoy next to joy, right? Conditional love next to unconditional love, you know, sadness next to joy, um, all these opposites, this contrast. It's like I talk about this tapestry back here. If it was all beige, we wouldn't see um, this design because this shadow is what allows you to see this here. You also wouldn't see all of this other design around here. So it's the combination of the contrast that makes it beautiful. And if we can see life that way, we can have different experiences, right? The light energy of this card says, embrace joy and let it fill your life. Seek out moments of laughter, play, and connection with others. Yeah, you're like, their actions are not about you. You get to express and go, pursue your joy and laughter and play in the outside world. The shadow energy of this is your pursuit of joy may be leading to escapism or avoidance of deeper issues. Consider whether you're using fun to distract yourself from what needs attention. No, I feel like it's more the opposite, right? Questions you can ask yourself: how can I bring more joy into my life? Number one. Number two, am I using fun to avoid dealing with deeper issues? And number three, what brings me true happiness? Ooh, I love that. Right. So that is what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your dual donations. Hopefully that is a little helpful there. All right. And since I only have one donation left, I'm gonna, hey Jojo, I will complete Johanna. If I get any other donations, I will wait till I finish free readings, but I'll move on to free readings next. But since I just have one left, I'm not gonna make you wait, Jojo. You're at two. Wow, you had 32 minutes even on your first one, 2 hours and 34 minutes on your second one. What are the chances of that? Like being so even, Steven. Let's give your donation a love and a like here. And just want to know any other messages for you. All right, let's pull this second portion here and see what else they have here for you. Thank you guys so much for your patience in getting to all the readings here. All right. Oh, and 34 minus 2 is 32. You are so smart. You know your maths. All right. Here we go. All right. Thank you. All right. Starting off here with the World card, which of course is an ending of a major cycle, the beginning of a new adventure. Victory energy, moving to a new level, achieving a level and moving higher. Yeah, you got the star card again. You had the star card in your first reading, the connection to the spirit world. But this is also your dream come true. So I feel like we're zeroing in on the dream, of your life, and that you're reached an ending because you're about to reach a new beginning. So what may have felt like stagnancy or um, endings, it's because you're getting ready to be pulled to a new direction. I mean, just hold on tight because it's like your higher self is pulling you in this direction here. What else? Aha. Yeah, makes sense here. These three cards, you have the nine, the Hermit card. Here is that energy of being feeling like you've been isolated, kind of pulling away kind of energy in a bubble like this with the Seven of Wands. But this is allowing you to be comfortable with yourself, and you've been working through with the Five of Swords, the battle between your head and your heart, and the quietness, less distractions, more clarity, feeling more comfortable in your own self, your own energy. And in that stillness, as those voices of others kind of fade away, the higher voice and your heart's voice are more clearly heard. And so I feel like that it was like in a way, a bit of a purging of noise out of your life. And along with that noise, as some um, beliefs that don't serve you anymore were also um, rooted and cleared there. Yeah, it's part of the temperance is the patience with the process, things going back and forth. Let's see here. You had three cards, and then it's like a reverse pyramid: three, and then two, and then one. Yeah, here's the Three of Swords, along with the Knight of Cups. I feel like there's been some facing here, like if I follow my dreams, the fears of being disappointed, the fear of being a disappointment, kind of energy that's come in. This was like at the core underneath of some of the stuff that's been being cut away. And then the Ace of Cups is what it's leading to, which is your self-love, which it's like tearing away they use this analogy that they're showing me here last weekend. I think it was like they showed me like a golden Aztec statue that had developed clay on top of it over time because of weathering and dust in the air and mud and rain, to where it looked dull. It just looked like a stone statue. But once you pulled away and got through the dirt and that had kind of um, calcified over it, and then cleaned it up, it's like, oh my gosh, it's golden. And this is like you're getting into that golden statue of who you are, because you're turning away all this influence of things that were from the outside world that had gotten on to this statue that has set you free, allowing you to see more of who you are. And then you have these cards. Let's see what this is. Yeah. So transformation of these feelings of lack, of being less than, that type of thing. The Five of Swords. So five of Pentacles, Five of Swords. Yeah, the Judgment card, allowing you to see yourself from a higher place. The Four of Swords. Yeah, the Four of Swords, which goes over the Five of Swords. So the peace of mind and the Eight of Cups. Yeah, walking away from emotions that don't serve you anymore, relationships that don't serve you anymore. So they're showing that all of this transformation, all this conflict energy that you had, you were able, if you could see it, well, it's like this. Let me show you. It's like all this stuff that was going on here above is you rising above and seeing yourself from this perspective. And this is like seeing you as your dream that's there. Very interesting. I like it. So that is what they have for you, Jojo. So a wonderful message. I love that for you. Ready for this next journey that's coming forward. Yeehaw! Got your cowboy hats on. Too fun. So thank you again. I appreciate you. And much love to you. Enjoy your rest of your Saturday. Well, let's see. Yeah, it's like almost 10 at night. Oh, actually, it's almost 11 at night where you're at. So you're almost ready to start your day. Or you might actually not be a vampire and sleep, right? You've been feeling that. I love that for you. De nada. I know how to respond to gracias. So much love to you. All right. Alrighty, ready. So, what I'm going to do now, hey, Flo, I will circle back around for you in a moment here, Flo. What I'm going to do, I'm trying something new where if I haven't done any free readings, I'm kind of 10 minutes late into it. Around 2:30-ish, I am going to jump to some free readings, and then I will definitely complete yours before I sign off today. But let me grab all these. So we got Brenda Globy, Ateshi Singh. We got Ashish. So I have yours. We did Ashvin with donation. Marissa. We got Jojo. Olivier, hello, hello. So sorry I didn't say hello to you. Here's your question. Let me grab that. Oops. Didn't grab your name there. That will help. There we go. All right. So we had Libby A, then Johanna. We did Sadashna. We did those. Crescent Moons. We did those. Sudashna. Sudashni. I thought oh, sorry. I knew Maria you had asked for in there. I saw your name right by it. All right, there we go. Let me go slower. Make sure I didn't skip over anyone else. So we did those. We did those. We did those. So I'm talking with my hand in front of the microphone. All right, yeah. So I've just got like 5 free readings here. So those, of course, are a little faster with just a couple cards. So we will do those here. All right. I think I'm all good to go. Let me just shuffle these up real quick. We'll take these. Prepare 2 sides. You'll get 2 cards. So this is for all of the free readings. Okay, thank you. And then this one here too. All right, I want this one cut in half. All right. So here we go. All right. So Brenda Globy, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. So Brenda, the future of AS and KTH based on current energies. Yeah, you are very welcome. Thank you for your wonderful, kind comment. All right. Ooh. Well, their future seems a little shaky here. We've got the 3 of Swords, which is feelings of expectations equal disappointment. It feels like they have a little bit of a rocky time, but with this Page of Cups, it does take their love to a different level. So I feel like, and I don't feel like they've had this rocky time yet. I feel like they've had some rocky times, but I feel like what's coming is significant feelings of not heartbreak, because it's not like severe, but it feels like a lot of disappointment, a lot of um, expectations not matching up, and a lot of focusing on what someone's not doing, and um, not really accusations, but accusations. You're not doing this, and you're not doing this, and why would you do this? And just feel like there's this kind of heat that happens in an unfun way. And but because of it, it brings things to light that they've been keeping down for a long time. And with it being expressed, okay, now I'm less feeling like I'm a pressure cooker about to explode, because that's what happened, is pushing things down, being who we think each other want to be, saying what we don't want to say, but we know they want to hear it, and doing the things we don't want to do, but we know each other want to. And then it's finally like, brah, I can't have to be me. And then once it's all out and said, then we're able to build and make up. But it helps build the relationship, and at least based on current energies, into a higher level of emotional interaction. So a little bit of hurricane, or maybe like a tsunami that hits, an emotional tsunami that hits, clears away the old stuff, allows them to rebuild structures in something more solid. So hopefully that makes sense. But that's what they have for you, Brenda. So many blessings to you. Right, Ateshi, you are up. Thank you so much. Let's grab your timestamp here. So Ateshi, anyone interested in you, and will they reach out? Ooh, let's take a look here. All right. Well, I think so. Ace of Cups is new love. The World card is an ending of a cycle, the beginning of a new adventure. It is, the last card in the major, kind of bringing something new. I do feel like there is someone there. I feel like this ending of a cycle, beginning a new adventure, is that it's someone that has left. This is the World card. It's someone who has left where they were at, and I feel like they're new to town or have returned back um, to town. They've moved away. I feel like it's more that, because it feels like I moved away a while ago, but I am moving back. They haven't moved back yet, because you were asking when. When would that happen? And oh, what am I looking at? Sorry, that was Ashish. So sorry. I read Ashish's. Anyone interested you, and will they reach out? Right. So sorry, Ateshi. Um, I totally went into Ashish's reading. Let me. Yeah, because this isn't HL, right? HL hasn't moved away and come back. So let me correct this really quick here. And that's interesting. Has to have happened for a reason too. So we'll take this into consideration once we return here. Let me undo this here, and let me do it this way. Interesting energy. We'll definitely bring that into your reading. But Ashish, this actually ended up being for you, not Ateshi. So wow. So this is something. Um, I feel like means something for both. For you, Ashish, since you kind of jumped ahead of someone else, there is this, it's coming more sooner than later energy. with the when, but I feel like whoever this is that's going away, someone that moved away either for work, I feel like it was for work. They moved away, but now they're going to be moving back. I do feel like here, timing wise, does feel like by the end of the year, November, October, feels October energy is when they're coming back. And that's when you'd be like, oh my gosh, you're back. And I feel like that is um, an interest that's there. And you're definitely on their mind of when I go back, I want to definitely hang out with you. And because they have those feelings and for you. So interesting. So that's what they have for you, Ashish. So there you go. Let me jump in here. So Ateshi, we'll make sure we have yours here, Ateshi. Interesting. So if you're just listening to this piece and you weren't here when I was doing this, I had put your timestamp earlier, but we jumped into someone else's reading that was right after you. And I feel like that is something to do with your reading because you wanted, since timing is fluid, if HL were to ask you out, when would that happen? And I feel like with this, because someone else got moved in front of you, that there is this energy of that they end up asking someone else out instead. Let's see what these other cards are here for you. Yeah, because we've got the Ace of Wands, which is a new passion, and the Queen of Cups is someone who's more emotionally available. So I feel like HL, there is a bright, shiny thing that attracts them. They end up asking someone else out. And then it's that feeling of, oh, I thought I was next. No, someone else got in front of you. That's that energy that they wanted to be able to bring through, because this Ace of Wands is you're going to meet someone new, a bright and shiny thing that's more attractive to you. Like you're like, well, are they? And you're like, HL, who is that? And this Queen of Cups is someone that is more one with the Queen of Cups. It's an energy because the Queen rolls over cups and gets a second portion of cups, as all queens do. Very emotional, mature person that can share emotions and wants to share emotion. Not someone that you wonder, do they have feelings for me? It's going to be like, you deserve to be with someone like you that's able to give and receive love, right? And so that's why this doesn't seem like it's oh, thank you. It's an upgrade in a way. The Queen of Cups also is one of the cards that can represent past life connections. So when you meet this person, you're going to be like, they're glowing in the dark and have a rainbow shooting out of their butt. And you're like, wow, you feel this natural draw to one another. It feels like you guys know one another. You've known each other for a very long time. This is the way you feel, but you don't. This is the first time you're meeting them with the Ace of Wands. And so there's this, history of lifetimes together that you feel that emotional and that draw, and that just makes it even more, this kind of energy that comes there. So I like that for you. So interesting how spirit used that to bring through that energy. But that's what they have. I know it's like our heart goes, but I like them. But it's like when you see the other, you're like, it's like fighting over a piece of clothing, a piece of cloth, and then you see this beautiful, beautiful outfit that's so much more than this ever was, and you're like, oh, I'll take that. The other person, you're like, you can have that. I want this. So that's what's coming in. So hopefully that makes sense. All right. And then Olivier Vagara, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. Hello, hello, my friend. So you want to ask, will you conquer the desires you wish in the future, or what is it that I need to promote to get that wish? All right, let's see what we have here. Yeah. Yeah, the sun card, that's victory. Um, and the two of wands is you just be aware of what energy you focus on, but also make plans and put action behind it, put the fire behind it. There's a lot going on here with this energy because, you know, the one message of whatever you put your action toward, you can achieve. There's nothing you can't do. Um, the one of the two of wands is, of course, we always talk about be aware of our energy. Am I focusing on gratitude for what I have, and then just, going with the flow of life and focusing what I love, and then I move into things, and things I love come toward me. If I'm focusing on want and desire and need and drive, and that's lack energy, I actually end up pushing things away and I feel empty, right? The other thing with the sun card is getting in tune with what brings me joy. Is the what I wish in the future, is that from my heart or is that from my head? Because this won't make me feel like wishes come true when I get it. It'll feel like met expectations, and did you feel like the difference that we realize is how we feel. Like if I'm if I'm living my dream, like I feel like I'm living my dream, I don't feel like I live in lack. I don't feel like I'm behind and I'm trying to catch up. When I was living by my what my brain was telling me based on opinion of the outside world, supposed to and should and need to, I felt like I was working in the deficit. Like I was always trying to get up to zero. Then once I got there, then I could work on abundance, but it was like I was behind and I was trying to catch up. So if we feel like we're behind and we feel like we're not where I should be in my life, then I'm in my head and I'm not living my dream. I'm li- pursuing a dream that is something else that's been given to me. It's not my dream. When you're living your dream each moment, even if it's just planning, even if it's just putting steps together, doing research, whatever it may be, even if we're just doing that, it's that kind of um, feel of like, wow, I took a step toward my dream today. And in that step toward my dream, I am living my dream, you know, um, because that's what living our dream is not somewhere in the future, sometime I'll get there. I've got everything I need right here inside of me, and I'm expressing that every moment. And I'm stepping toward what I'm wanting to do. It's even like going to college because I want to be a surgeon. The studying of the anatomy and taking classes, if I'm living my dream, I'm enjoying every moment and learning it throughout the whole process. If I'm living someone else's dream, it's all about, I got to get to be the doctor and be head of the surgeon of blah, blah, blah. And until then, I feel like I'm behind and I'm rushing and stressed trying to catch up. So hopefully that helps. Olivier, that's what they have for you, my dear. All right. Many blessings to you. All right. And then Maria P., you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. This is for your free reading. Thank you again for your donation earlier. And you wanted a general for you. All right. Let's see what Spirit has here for you. Wow. You got the King of Swords and the King of Cups. Yeah, there's a lot of mind energy here because all the kings get swords energy, mind energy, mental energy behind the scenes, right? So you got the King of Swords. That's two parts thinking. Then you have the King of Cups, another part thinking, and then emotion, right? So there is this message that comes in here. The King of Cups in itself is a message of balance, but they're showing we're three parts into our head and one part into our heart. So we're 1/4 here, 3/4 here. And they're saying if you can get out of here and balance it, it's take a fourth of it more, put it here, you're half and half. Half in your head, half in your heart feels balanced at least, right? Because We can have our heart and our head joined together, but when our brain is three-fourths, it's like they have three-fourths of the shares of the corporation, and our heart has only a fourth. They have controlling shares, and the mind is trying to control the heart. So it's like balancing out things, allowing both your head and your heart to have a seat at the table. And the heart, of course, is the heart of the higher heart that connects to the higher realms, not the human heart that's hungry for everything in the outside world and not feeling fulfilled, right? It's like allowing us to go inward and upward. So there's this energy of balancing, because that is about the expectations, right? Our head is telling us all the rules of supposed to be, should be, need to be, have to be. We get ruled into that. And I feel like we get that message a lot. And I know, but I hear this tons through all my readings. And it still is important for me to remember to get out of my head and the supposed to, it's like people are not supposed to be shot. People are not supposed to be deported. People are not supposed to um, be billionaires and trillionaires while people are starving. When you have all these beliefs around things, then we experience lack in this. But when I focus my energy and return back to my high heart, and I focus on what I love about people, I love what's going on in the world, then my world changes to bringing in more of that instead of more of that. So it's an important energy around everything, for us all to be aware. So I feel like that's their message for you. All right. So that's what they have for you, Maria. So many blessings to you. All right. And I believe that is all of my free readings up to this point. Let me just make sure I didn't zip past any latecomers here. No. All right. So that'll be it for free readings for today. I've hit my 3-hour mark. I do have a couple of donations that I will finish up here. We got, hi, my name is Flo. So Flo, you'll be up next. And then Vidi Jalan, hello. You'll be up after that. All right, let me put these back together and we'll jump into those. So good to see everyone. Thank you guys again for all the thumbs up that you've given. Just help spread the Zen love when you like the videos and the streams. Yeah, just don't tell anybody if you guys have been here all this time. I have an announcement coming next week. I'm starting my new podcast, The Easier Path. The introduction will be coming out. There's going to be some prizes. Shh. All right. So here we go. Let's split this in half. I just needed to get everything back together here. All right. Shh, shh, shh. I am June. I've been talking about it, but it's going to be called The Easier Path with brudda-zen. It's all about how we can make our path an easier path, but I won't spoil it. We have the intro will be on Monday is when I'll have it come out. All right. So let's jump in. Flo, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. Put it out here. Here we go. Thank you for your donation. I'll give that a love and a like since it lets me. I want to know, what are E's thoughts and feelings for you? You were hoping that she'd ask me out again this week, but she didn't. The hangout went well last week, and the same night she asked me awkwardly if I was okay with another night, right? All right. So let's take a look here. Let's see what we got here. So E's thoughts. Okay. The feelings. All right. Anything else around feelings? Yeah, I thought we were going to have some underneath the surface there. And then anything around a next date, please. Okay. Yeah, we got the bottom of the deck. Whoops. Just one myself over here. We do have the full card here, which is about a new adventure, free of expectations, free of restrictions, but full of possibilities. So that tells me something that we can do. They kind of set up an expectation, right? And I feel like if we release that and go, you know what, it's going to unfold perfectly. Let me not read into it. Let me not focus on what's not happening. Focus on what you love about what did happen, what was great about the conversation and interactions, what you've loved about them in the past. And as you do that, that opens up the energy coming in. Because, of course, everything that happens in our life is for us, right? Um, so if I have this, which again, I get you, they set up an expectation. Hey, you know, would you be okay with getting together again? Yeah, I would. All right. Well, now you're expecting it, and expecting it. When we start to expect something, we actually end up pushing it away from us. So we're like, ah, ha, ha. So even though they did that, we can still go, yeah, I would love one, but I'm not going to expect anything. I'm going to focus on gratitude and joy, and that allows it to come in instead of my energy putting up a barrier, right? So something to learn through that. I love that. What are their thoughts? What are their thoughts right now for you? Yep. A lot of attraction with the Knight of Wands and wanting to take action, and the Three of Pentacles. This is an energy of what is this energy? Because it is an energy of being true to one's authentic self. They're going to be themselves. They're going to take action in their own time, like they always have. So, it's like, all right, I'm going to let them be them, let them choose in their timing. But their thoughts around you with this, it's funny because this looks like a street light to me instead of like a hanging. And it's like um, they're confused about signals. And, because usually it's green, yellow, red. This is green, red, and orange. It's like, wait a minute. So I'm getting this mixed signal energy that um, they're doing a lot of thinking in their head of like, well, I wonder, like overanalyzing. When they did that, did they mean that? Or were they just being kind of I'm not sure if you've had communication throughout the week since then. Um, but um it wouldn't hurt to reach out and just kind of say, I'm hearing that old 80s song again. Reach out, touch. What is that? Reach out, touch, faith. I forget, what that word is. It's like one of those songs that you just sang when you were younger. You didn't really know what the words were. You just love the music. But it's reach out, touch, faith. Um, so I feel like if you just reach out and go, "Hey, I was just thinking about what a great time I had last weekend, and I would love to get together with you again, um, you know, soon, kind of thing, right? Short chats this week, so it doesn't hurt to say that and go, um, you know, because I feel like they feel like they're getting mixed signals, and it doesn't mean that they're seeing mixing signals through their eyeglasses, right? Doesn't mean that you're giving mixed signals, but they're getting mixed signals through the filters of the world and through their own filters too, right? So we do that, that energy that's there. Emotions, how they feel, yeah. Oh, they love so many emotions, so many. Birthing, sensuality, um, the Empress rules over all four queens. All four queens have emotion that they give to the Empress. Plus, the Queen of Cups gives a fifth one. So 5 parts cups, 1 part fire, 1 part earth, 1 part air. So 5 parts water, and then 1 part of each of those. A lot of emotion. Definitely, it's there. Below the surface are these 3 cards. Yeah, the fear of heartbreak, and that makes sense. We all go through that, right? But this 3 energy, the King of Wands, yeah, trying to bridle their energy, take their times here. Yeah, I think you should ask her out. And the Ace of Swords, trying to seek clarity around all this too. What was it you're reading that was like um it's that the subtle, they don't get subtle. It's like, it has to be um because otherwise it gets lost in the noise, if that makes sense, right? There's something like a there's something that my host says because uh, she doesn't realize when people are flirting with her, and our friends have always said it that it takes someone. It's like her, it's like someone has to like come up and kiss them to go, oh, you like me, It's like, didn't you realize that that person was into you? They're like, what? You're just like, wake up. But that's funny. What was this last one here? I got so much into your reading here. Oh yeah, the asking out. Let's see here. Yeah. Yeah, so there is that the emotional confusion, and the 9 of Wands holding them back. They want to, but their emotional, especially the fears, are there. But I feel like if you go, yeah, I feel like asking them out and going, you know what? I had such a great time and everything. I would love to get together. Do you have time to go to? You can invite them somewhere. You know, you can say, "How do you feel about going to so and so?" And they'll be like, "Oh, I'd love that. Um, can you go? You know, do you have time tonight? Do you have time tomorrow?" I feel like with them, I'm getting a lot of. It's interesting because my host, she's a Sagittarius sun, a little bit ADD, um, which she admits to and embraces because it has so many wonderful gifts that comes with it too. Um, but it's a joke between us and all that. But I feel like um, planning way in the future is difficult for her. Um, talking about E, um, I feel like same day or tomorrow plans are work best with them. If that makes sense. So let's see what your fortune cookie is around this too. Because then, I mean, be very obvious, and I feel like that's important with them. It's like they don't get subtle. It's like just put it out there. Yeah, there you go. Boom, boom. Yeah, and you have the balance. I like that with the sea lion balancing, the sea lion balancing the moon on their nose. And I like this balanced approach energy and that it's equal, right? It's like they asked you out, and it's like, well, I'm going to ask you out and I'm going to allow it to be balanced. I'm not going to, you know, have it be me, 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 me like before, like I have to overgive, I have to do everything. No, I'm going to allow it to be balanced, right? It's like, you know what? All right. And you can even be like, after the second date, you could be like, all right, so now the ball is in your court. So you can you can you can be you can plan the next date. I would love to have another date with you, but I'll let you decide what and when. I'll let you ask me. And that way it's, oh, okay. I need to ask you out for the next one. Very clear, right? But I like the balancedness. Let's see what the sea lion brings in here too. So the sea lion, effortlessly moving between land and the sea, symbolizes balance and adaptability. It teaches us to navigate different aspects of life with grace, maintaining equilibrium even in changing environments. This card suggests finding harmony between your responsibilities and personal needs. The sea lion encourages you to remain flexible while keeping your life balanced. I love that. The high vibration energy of the card says seek balance between different areas of your life. Flexibility and adaptability will help you maintain harmony. The shadow energy of the card says you may be neglecting one area of your life, causing imbalance. Consider if you're focusing too much on one aspect at the expense of others. And then 3 questions you can ask yourself. 1, where do I need more balance? 2, am I neglecting something important? And 3, how can I better adapt to changing circumstances? So, some good reflective questions, whichever ones resonate there for you. So, I love that for you, Flo. So, enjoy your adventure. I'm excited. Thanks for keeping me in the loop. I love it. All right. Thank you again for your donation. All right. So, yay. Thank you. You're very welcome. All right. So, Vidi Janlan, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. And then Sudeshni will circle back around for your additional question there as well. All right. So, Vidi, give that a love and a like there. I am doing well. I hope you're doing well as well, Vidi. So thank you again for your donation. So you're helping your cousin, sister, in setting up a business. I want to know if it's the right thing to do. I don't want differences later. Also, what does she think about all this herself? I like her approach. Okay. So we'll take a look here. What we'll do here is, because with spirit, they don't have like a right thing, wrong thing, supposed to be better or worse. They look at everything as different choices with different experiences and different outcomes. So they don't look at it so much as right and wrong and those types of things. So what I'll do is the energy is I'll put what's the energy around if you help her set up her business, and then what's the energy if you don't, because that will help you decide what energy you want to choose. Okay, so this is if you don't. Okay, and then what does she think about all this right now? We'll step into her energies based on her current energies. What is she thinking about all this? I don't have this one. And these are below the surface. All right. So if you do help with the business, what kind of energy comes in? You have the moon energy here. There's a lot of emotion that goes through cycles, like with the moon. Some stuff does come up bubbling from the surface. You do have the strength card here, which is the leadership energy, which it feels like they do appreciate the leadership and the guidance that comes in here. And there'll be a variety of emotions with this 5 of Cups. So there's going to be some bubbling up here, some fears that cause ignition, stuff bubbling up that they've pushed down, because I'm kind of feeling like they appreciate you taking the lead to help them, but there's also this feeling of being controlled that they don't like. That's not really coming from you because you're trying to help, but this is old emotions from the past that they're reacting to you in the way they would react to like a teacher that was controlling, or a parent, or excuse me, other person that was in position of authority, that they're like, so to be important here, rather than leading through orders, but by not pulling them or pushing them, but walking with them side by side. What do you think about this? Um, it's like, what was asking coaching? Is that what it was? I learned a lot in corporate life. It was a good asking coaching where, instead of me telling like my direct reports, the employees that were under I was managing or coaching over them, it wasn't like, well, this is what you need to do and what you have to do, and this is, blah blah blah, because that's resistance. We don't like to be pushed or pulled. What happens when someone pulls us? We resist. What happens if someone pushes us? We resist, right? But if someone goes, would you like to go this way? I'm like, yes, I would. Then it's a choice, right? It's almost like you don't tell a 2-year-old, excuse me, that, you know, um, you're going to drink this, right? Because they'll be like, no. You go, hey, would you like juice or would you like milk? And they're like, oh, I want juice. Like, good. You also don't ask them, what do you want to drink? And they're like, soda. And you're like, no, no, you can't have that. Because then they throw a fit, right? You don't. And that's what asking coaching, would you rather do this or would you rather do this with it? And they're like, I'd rather do that. There's engagement and you can walk next to each other. So that's what I feel like is coming in with that. If you don't help them and they just go, you know what, you do this on your own. You have the 6 of Cups energy that comes in here, and yeah, there's this childlike energy, and they'd still be fine. The 7 of Swords, it would cheat them. Their fears and their old beliefs would cheat them out of opportunities, and they wouldn't do what they did. This goes back to their childhood. So with the 6 of Cups energy that I'm picking in here, I feel like they would be okay with what happens, but they also would be, wouldn't be able to, because of their doubts, they wouldn't be able to do as much with all that too. I also like that approach there. Thank you. It sounds engaging, right? It also saves you from being blamed. to say, if you are the one that's, you know, pulling them, and then something happens, they're like, well, you did it, you know. But if it's like we're moving along together, then there's no blame pointing fingers because we decided together, or you decided, That's interesting. All right, let's see where she's coming from, her viewpoints. Yeah, they love it. Important partnership between the two of you here with the Lovers card. It doesn't need to mean romantic. It means important relationship. And the Hierophant is teacher student. They feel like they could learn a lot from you, and I like that. But I like the approach of like, I'm not your teacher. Well, there's a teacher student of, there's good teachers and good students, and that makes good progress, right? If I'm a great teacher, but you have a poor student, doesn't matter. If you have a poor teacher and a great student, the student can still learn and go forward. And I like this kind of feeling like they feel like it's a good match, that I can learn from you, and we can have things happen. But I like that approach, though, of let's learn together instead of I'm teaching you. It's like, yeah, I've got experience and you got creativity and experience, and so together we can do that, right? Yeah, so that's perfect. I love that. So that's what she's thinking, and she believes that. She's not just blowing smoke. Below the surface, yeah, she's really the Queen of Cups here. Oh, yeah, she has a fear of failure. So just be aware of that. There's a lot of emotion below the surface here. This fear of things not being successful, and so going into that, I feel like that's important, and that's the moon. That's what gets revealed. I feel a lot of that. There's some insecurities and some fears there of failure and what will people think, and that kind of energy as we go into that as well. So good to know there. Let's pull a fortune cookie for you too. But she feels very excited about it, but she also fears that sudden destruction. So just go in with your eyes open with that, going, yeah, that's understandable. Most of us feel that way, but she's got stuff that got ripped away from her when she was younger, and she fears that's what's going to happen as well. Um, so you can do a little extra comforting in that area with her, like, this is yours, right? Because this is like her business, right? Like, this is your business, this is yours, and I'm helping you. um and someday, unless you're like wanting to be 50-50 partners in something, you can be like, this is going to be yours one day and you won't even need me anymore, but I'm here. I'm like training wheels. I'm helping keep things steady while you're learning to ride, but eventually you can take off the training wheels and you'll just fly. So interesting. All right, let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here too. All right, here we go. And we have preparation, the squirrel. Don't squirrel out. I like this. So see what this brings in. So, squirrel preparation. The squirrel, a creature known for its industrious nature and ability to prepare for the future, symbolizes the importance of planning, foresight, and resourcefulness. There you go. Squirrels gather and store food for the winter, representing the power of preparation and the importance of being ready for what lies ahead. This card suggests that you may need to focus on preparing for the future or gathering the resources you need. The squirrel reminds you that careful planning and foresight are key to success. Boom, I love it. The light energy of the card says focus on preparation and planning for the future. Gathering resources and thinking ahead will help you navigate challenges and achieve your goals. Shadow energy on the card says your preparation may be turning into hoarding or an inability to let go. Consider whether you're holding on to things out of fear rather than necessity. Ooh, that's a good thing to keep in mind, right? 3 questions you can ask yourself: how can I better prepare for the future? Am I holding on to things that I no longer need? And what resources do I need to gather to achieve my goals? I love it. All right. So that is what they have for you, VD. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. All right. And so, Deshni, we're circling it back around here for your number 3. Let me just do this a different way here. We'll do this times 2. Just move this. There we go. Oh, I love that for you, VD. You are very welcome. Love it, love it. All right, Sudesh, let's give your additional donation here. Love and a like here. All right. Okay, just making sure we didn't have any other. There it is, right there. All right. So, Sudeshona, will your relationship with Johan work out better if you move in together? Needing advice, as he is a good person. I think I'm concerned about previous disappointment. All right. Let's take a look here. based on current energies, if you moved in together, okay. Boom, boom. Anything else? Got this. Don't want those. Don't want those. Want that done here. Anything else? Nope, those are it there. For that, I feel like one more time through here. Okay. Just that one there. All right. Well, the bottom of the deck, the energy overall is the Four of Cups here. And the Four of Cups is an interesting energy because I'm not sure if it was your reading. Was the reading one about the mirage? Because the Four of Cups is a card of emotional boredom. And this is what this talks about is usually it's similar here. They have the three cups that feel empty, which are the three cups of the outside world, relationships with humans, situations, and things that when they're trying to fulfill themselves, any of us, by the stuff of the outside world, we feel bored. They're bored out of their gourd. Oh, is this all there is? Why do I feel so empty? Why do I feel so stagnant? Well, we have the Ace of Cups, which is our self-love here that comes in here. And this is this underlying energy. It's not about, I don't feel like moving in together would make a change because the change needs to happen in here, not out here, right? Let's see what other advice they give here, but that Four of Cups speaks loudly. Yeah, we've got a lot of expectations equal disappointment, and the King of Wands. There's a lot of leading by expectations, which is the nightmare and insomnia card, the Nine of Swords, which is there's so much I feel has to be and should be and need to be and have to be that, and we're taught that growing up, right? We're this long list of opinion on what a relationship should be, what it's not supposed to be, who they're supposed to be, what they're supposed to bring into the relationship, how the relationship is supposed to go, what it's supposed to bring to me, what I'm supposed to bring to the relationship. It's a lot, right? It's exhausting just thinking about a long list of things of what a relationship we're taught. That's why we're like crying and having nightmares because it is. The King of Wands is an energy where the king is getting inundated with all these advisors telling him how the kingdom is supposed to run and should run and needs to run. And they're like, all right, everybody. And they're all contradicting. Everyone has different opinions. They're like, clear the throne room, leave your opinions in that box by the door on your way out. Thank you, everybody. But I'm the king of the kingdom. I'm the king in kingdom. That's meaning we're the ruler of our life, that I get to choose. What do I want? Not what I think I'm supposed to want, but what do I want? Then I decide from my heart, and then I make a plan, and then I put action behind it. But it's not about trying to do things to check off, because when we have expectations, we start focusing on what's not happening instead of what it is. And we focus on, what do I love in my relationship? What do I love in past relationships, romantic relationships? And what do I love in loving relationships I have with friends and family, whoever? What do I love about all that? I focus on gratitude around what I love, focus on what I love, then I get more of what I love. When I focus on expectations of what's not happening, I get more of that, more of not having, right? That's why what needs to change is here and here and inside of us, because we don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. So if this doesn't change, nothing out here is going to change. When I change here, then my world around me changes miraculously. Isn't that great how it works? Also, yeah, the moon card. There's a lot of hidden things here with the moon card. It would bring a lot of things to light, but the Four of Swords, this is, again, letting go of expectations is where we find our rest. And that's what it would bring up. Moving in together would bring up a whole bunch of emotions from the past. And it would cause you guys to really face your expectations, because when we're not living together, there's a ton of expectations. But when you have, imagine this, you have all this way of growing up on how things are supposed to be in your home, and so do they, and they don't match. So when you move in together, you think you have a lot of expectations on each other now. When you move together, it just heaps more in there. Like, why do you why did you leave that plate out? Why what about the dishes? Why are you putting it there? Is that how you cook? Is that how you make stuff? Blah, blah, blah. There's more disappointments. It definitely would bring things to a because that's how we learn is through our conflict. Definitely would bring a lot of stuff for each of us to look at if we live together, right? So let's see. You're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm running away from that. I'm just kidding. Yeah, yeah. The Two of Cups with the Empress. Let's see what this underlying energy is here. Yeah, and the Hermit. This is being alone and being to yourself here. I feel like the Hermit card is more saying that if you stay living separate, that you'll create this is Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. Focus on yourself, develop the relationship with yourself is important, but that it also allows you to create a closer relationship that aligns more with who you are, right? Doesn't mean that's with them. It does show that rather than getting into a situation where it's like if I'm struggling with something, don't join it even further, take a step back and see what's going on so that you guys can work out the conflicts within yourself that are you're seeing in the mirrors. You don't um, if there's a hungry lion that's attacking you, you don't jump into a cave with them. You go onto higher ground to see things from a different perspective, see why I'm having conflict with the lion instead of let's get in close quarters with someone that I'm having conflict with, right? So hopefully that makes sense, Sudeshni. That's what they have for you, my dear. So I feel like it's pretty clear there for you. You're like, no, unless you're like, yeah, I'm a ninja. I want to go, I want to go in close face to face combat with them. Let's go. It's your adventure. There's no right or wrong. But now you know kind of what advice they have, and they don't get upset if you don't, you know, take their advice or not. So that is what they have for you, my dear, my dear. All right. So that is it for all of my donations. I had completed all of the other free readings. I have one more here. So, La Bogang Kula, I probably totally mispronounced that. Since you're the only one that I haven't done, I'll slide you in here real quick before I head off. Hey, Debbie, good to see you too. So we will go ahead and complete yours. So let's grab here. I think your timestamp is here. I forgot to grab it, but I think it's around here. All right. So you'd like to know how's your career for this year? Also need advice. All right, let's take a look here. Free readings are just 1 to 2 cards, so we'll see how much we can get here for you. So based on your current energy, how's your career for the year? All right, thank you. All right, we like that. And any advice? All right. And I have this one for advice. Well, it looks here, you do have this Two of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune, too. This is good for how's your career going. I do feel like you have another option that's coming up that will be more in alignment for you, the more feeling of abundance for you here that's coming forward. Yeah, we have the Ten of Pentacles, too, which is this abundance and all of this energy that's coming in. And but it is about more so what will make you feel full. You got these 10, the Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Pentacles is about abundance. I what I feel here, like the Two of Pentacles is this pull in two directions, right? There's this energy of when we follow our mind and what it thinks we should do based on opinion and out of fear, we end up feeling like we're existing. And that's kind of where energy, I feel like, kind of where we're at in that, right? But our heart has something that it wants. And this abundance, this wheel of fortune and 10 of Pentacles, which is fullness of life, is if I want to feel like I'm living, then I follow my heart. If I want to exist, I follow my brain, And I feel like that's the advice that they're giving is really look at your life and what has brought you joy. Where's your heart leading you? Not where your mind is saying you should go or what you should do, but where's your heart leading you? And I feel like that's the big thing they have there for you. So hopefully that helps a little bit there. I feel like you'll do fine if you follow your mind and follow that path, but you'll feel like you're existing. You might be making good money and feel like, all right, all my needs are being met except for the needs of my heart. My heart is like, I'm bleh, not feeling full, right? When we follow our heart, abundance naturally follows it because when we're living life, we're in that higher vibration. We draw more things in. When we're trying to fulfill the things of the mind, we live in the feelings of lack a lot. And it feels like we're downward spiraling instead of upward, right? So hopefully that helps there for you. That is what they got there for you. So many blessings. Well, hey, June. Yeah, I will be back tonight from 6 to 9 p.m. Mountain Time. And then also tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Mountain Time. And on Sundays, I always come back in the afternoon to finish out everything that I did not in the morning, including all free readings. But I was going to ask if um, oh, you said you just jumped in. I thought you were just like jumping in to say hi and you were on your way out. If you have a quick question, if you want to do a free reading, I can do that. Or if you want a donation, you can do that now too. Because I wouldn't want to just leave you out. Oh, that'd be so rude. But I shall be back tonight. Yeah, I am. Did you hear my stomach growling? All right. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll love to see you tonight then. Thank you for that. You're so generous. I appreciate that. Your consideration. All right. Well, I will see you this evening. And thank you guys, all of you, so much for your patience in getting to all your readings today. And thank you for all the thumbs up. It just helps spread the Zen love. And I appreciate you being part of the love tsunami. And until I see you guys again, remember every second of every day of your life that you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the mother and the father of all things, our creator. And of course, I love you guys too. So until I see you again, much love. Hang in there. Take care of yourself. And remember, have some fun. Because while we're being so serious, life is a playground. Let's go play. All right. I love you guys. We'll see you soon. Bye, June. Catch you later. You didn't hear my stomach. Good. Right. Bye, everybody.